close to the speed of light is a kind of elixir of life. Because time slows down close to the speed of light, special relativity provides us with a means of going to the stars.
what's happened? No, what has happened?
You got wheel issues. Oh, he chops his Dean's nose off.
And it's going to be win number 5 for Max Mulder in his Simplay career. But it's going to be win number 1 this season. And the Audi on the top step of the podium with the Porsche of KLF 900. The bridesmaid yet again in Pro-Am. Monkey... Oh, no, Dean! Oh, no, Dean! Monkey Boy, great result for him in the end. Take nothing away from his night. 2 pit stops he's had to do. He's going to come home for a P3 and a podium.
Denim jeans, broken dreams in my pocket. Golden thing round my neck like a locket. Carve your name in my mind, cause you caught it. You caught it. You golden, golden, honestly you know it. Me under the street like at the young so I could show you. You're golden, golden, honestly you're glowing. Me under the mezzanine just so that I could show you. You're golden. Hey, you're golden. You're golden. Hey, you're golden. Golden.
They have indeed, and Max then just looks like he's got such more speed over up around the outside of turn 3. Job done easy as you like for Max Mulder.
When we meet, hold my hand in the darkness. Summer heat, bodies
Dean here looks like he's got a good bit of momentum, and he's got a great run on Max here. He's going to come up the inside, and Dean Wasocki, 1 win to his name, Dan. We called it in the Wet It Snetterton Season 2. Dean, lap 9, up the inside of Max Mulder. Thank you, mama, for the carrots.
me under the street like at the young so I could show you. You're golden, golden, honestly you're glowing. Me under the mezzanine just so that I could show you. You're golden. Hey, you're golden. You're golden. Hey, you're golden. Golden. You're golden. Yeah, you're golden.
away from these two boys. Boys got to look to the outside. Wow, that was late.
Yeah, you're golden, golden air.
Underneath, doesn't need a second invitation. He sticks it in the top bins and he's back in the lead of this race. They have indeed, and Max then just looks like he's got such more speed over but around the outside of turn 3. Job done easy as you like for Max Mulder. happened? No, what has happened?
You got wheel issues. Oh, he chops his Dean's nose off.
and it's going to be win number 5 for Max Mulder in his Simplay career, but it's going to be win number 1 this season, and the Audi on the top step of the podium with the Porsche of KLF 900, the bridesmaid yet again in Pro-Am. Monkey... Oh no, Dean! Oh no, Dean! Monkey Boy, great result for him in the end. Take nothing away from his night. 2 pit stops he's had to do. He's going to come home for a P3 and a podium.
Denim jeans, broken dreams in my pocket. Golden thing round my neck like a locket. Carve your name in my mind, 'cause you caught it. You caught it. You're golden, golden. Honestly, you know it. Me under the street like I am, so I could show you. You're golden, golden. Honestly, you're glowing. Me under the mezzanine, just so that I could show you. You're golden. Yeah, you're golden. You're golden. Yeah, you're golden. Golden.
They have indeed, and Max then just looks like he's got such more speed over up around the outside of turn 3. Job done easy as you like for Max Mulder.
When we meet, hold my hand in the darkness. Summer heat.
Dean here looks like he's got a good bit of momentum, and he's got a great run on Max here. He's going to come up the inside, and Dean Wasocki, 1 win to his name, Dan. We called it in the Wet It Snetterton Season 2. Dean, lap 9, up the inside of Max Mulder. Thank you, Mama, for the carrots.
Me under the street like I am, so I could show you. You're golden, golden. Honestly, you're glowing. Me under the mezzanine, just so that I could show you. You're golden. Yeah, you're golden. You're golden. Yeah, you're golden. Golden. You're golden. Yeah, you're golden.
Max is pulling away from these two. Bozzy Boy's got to look to the outside. Wow, that was late.
Yeah, you're golden. Golden. Golden, golden.
Another big wiggle, big snap. Dean tugs underneath. Doesn't need a second invitation. He sticks it in the top bins and is back in the lead of this race.
Honestly, you know it. Under the golden.
have indeed, and Max then just looks like he's got such more speed over but around the outside of turn 3. Job done easy as you like for Max Mulder. What's happened? No, what has happened?
You've got wheel issues. Oh, he chops his Dean's nose off.
And it's going to be win number 5 for Max Mulder in his Simplay career. But it's going to be win number 1 this season. And the Audi on the top step of the podium with the Porsche of KLF 900. The bridesmaid yet again in Pro-Am. Monkey... Oh, no, Dean! Oh, no, Dean! Monkey Boy, great result for him in the end. Take nothing away from his night. 2 pit stops he's had to do. He's going to come home for a P3 and a podium.
Denim jeans, broken dreams in my pocket. Couldn't think
Rounds 1 and 2, Overtaker pulled off the Grand Slam. 2 wins, 2 fastest laps, and pole position. Is Overtaker really that good? Or were the others just fighting amongst themselves?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're back for another track guide here.
Welcome to Simplay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back for another track guide here
COTA,
at Circuit of the Americas Round 2
in the United States of America. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kelly Davis, aka the one and only KLF 900, and I'm joined in the comms box by the Smithster, the Pro-Am Rainmeister, 2 times Constructors Champion Pro-Am. Good evening, Smithy.
Good evening, buddy. How are we?
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. It's everybody else.
I'm sure they're fine.
Absolutely. We're here again for round 3 and 4 at COTA. Pro-Am was last night. If you didn't get an opportunity to see that, go back and have a look when you've got time. It's on the Simplay YouTube channel that you're on right now, so you can go back and view that and see what happened last night. We might touch on some of that last night's antics tonight. You never know. But before we do all that, we've got all the funky graphics that are new to this season, Season 7. And we're going to start you off with Track Guide.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back for
on your screens right about now.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back for another track guide here. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back for another track guide here at Circuit of the Americas Round 2 of the Championship, a track that's 3.4 miles long with an elevation of 41 metres, opened in 2012, FIA Grade 1 with 20 corners and anti-clockwise. And Icora, once again, back on track to send us up into Turn 1. And there's so many different lines up into Turn 1. You can go wide and take it tight and get a good exit, or you could do the opposite, go in tight, but also run wide. Famously known for that contact between Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg, as they did at the start of the race in the wet. And the start of the race is going to be very interesting. As you can see here, the Cora sending it down the inside, trying to get as many positions as it possibly can at the start, but compromises its exit and gets a poor drive, which allows the Renault to come back underneath into Turn 2. So positions can be won or gained in different ways in this section, but also can be lost. But the Acura here gaining multiple positions, but obviously at the same time losing out another one to the Renault. So one to keep an eye on for, and definitely see if the guys can keep it controlled as they go into that section. And after that, we head into a very famous section of COTA. This is a replica version of Maggots and Beckett's, which is known in Silverstone GP, and this is COTA's version of it. And obviously the later part of this sector is then something that the guys that do develop this circuit decided to make it their own version. As you can see, the climb up the hill, car wants to make sure it's as stable as possible to get the best run through that sector. If you're looking at the cars like the Audi, the Lamborghinis, and possibly the Acuras to be very strong in this section, as the car is quite good on the chassis, quite good on downforce, so this is where it should be at its best. But also one thing to watch out for is the curbs here. The curbs on this track are very, very lethal. Most of the cars don't tend to like to run the curbs here, so you have to try and adapt and change your suspension, your dampers, to make them suitable to go through this section. Very difficult to also overtake in this part of the track. As you see here, the Acura stuck behind the Mercedes. It can't seem to find a way through due to the Mercedes power advantage but lack of downforce. The Mercedes struggles through this section, but the Acura is much more powerful. There's no obvious overtaking opportunity, so the Acura will have to make do and try and stick to as close as he possibly can to the Mercedes. If he's done that and he's made sure he's had a great run through that sector, it will then lead him down to the second best opportunity to overtake, which is at the hairpin. As we go into the hairpin, you can get another corner that you can take multiple different lines. But the way the circuit is this wide, there's so many opportunities to take different lines. You can go in tight, you can go in wide. And in this case, the Acura comes out and gets a good run out of the first sector and then heads towards the hairpin. With it going wide and braking just at the dark patch, it allows it to get great traction out of the corner, hitting the apex, and you can get a good run down the back straight, which you'll need to get a good slipstream or a good tow on the car in front. Like I said, a second good opportunity for the cars to overtake, and down the inside goes the Acura and gets the job done on the Renault. But if he does overshoot the corner or misses and has a poor run, the Renault can come back and attack. But luckily, the Acura has done enough in this sense to stay in front. And this is what I was talking about, the tow. Down the back straight. There's two cars fighting, and Yakura gets in the slipstream. This is where the Mercedes and the Porsches should be strong, including the Lamborghini. Straight line speed is going to be very vital through there, as Yakura will go down the inside to 3 cars wide there, and he gets the job done and heads into the tight, twisty section of the final sector. This sector is also a replica version of Hockenheim Stadium section. Both of these corners have been replicated to be similar to Hockenheim Stadium, and as you can see here, the Yakura trying its best to get the best traction as well. You can go in early apex, let the car drift wide, and go in a wide entry into a tight exit. Through here is the replica version of Turkey's Turn 8 Istanbul circuit, as the Yakura goes through that checker. We'll come back to that in a minute, but there's one other opportunity we can do here, is send it down the inside. We can catch other cars out in this section. As you can see there, the Yakura goes down the inside of the Audi and gets that job done, and leads itself into the Istanbul right-hander. Obviously at Istanbul it goes to the left. Here at COTA it goes to the right. Your downforce and your suspension needs to be at its best there to be able to take the load that the car is asking for you, which then leads you to the penultimate corner and then the final corner, where track limits will be watched. The penultimate corner, again, the rules state that all 2 tyres must be at least on the curb or on the inside of the line. The white line, that's on the side of the circuit. And you can see there, Gora staying within track limits nicely. But also it's a final opportunity for an overtake. The final corner is where you can get your last opportunity while you can. It's coming towards the end of the race. This will be an opportunity where the guys can try and get that last move in. But traction is key on the final corner. If you don't get that good traction, you're not able to then fight and hold on to that position, which will then lead you into turn 1 to get another good position. Yakura goes around the outside of the Mercedes here, tries the option around the outside, but because the Mercedes has the inside, it has the advantage, it gets better drive, better exit, and is able to stay in front. So that's a quick guide of the Circuit of the Americas, round 2 of the season. Here are your lap records. Pro qualifying record is a 2:04.2, race record is a 2:05.4. The Pro-Ams 2:05.9 and a 2:07.3. The Pro-Ams was done by Ukbar. Quality time was done by Overtaker, and a race record done by Fury. That's what we're looking forward to here. The wet weather is going to be also an interesting factor here if it is wet, but to the guys in the Pro and in the Pro-Ams, that is a quick guide of the circuit, and best of luck to everyone here this evening. And we go back to the guys in the comms.
I'm loving these new graphics that are new to season 7. Show on your screen now, you'll be seeing another new graphic, the Circuit of Americas. As you can see, some track information: 5.5 kilometers or 3.4 miles, elevation change of 133 feet, man-made. Opened in 2012, grade 1, 20 turns anti-clockwise. Also, it was designed by Herman Tilke, who's the very famous designer of circuits around the world, and is made up of sections, as Dan said in the track guide, made up of sections of famous bits and pieces of other tracks. The twisty bits being Maggots and Beckett's, as Dan described. The Americans wanted it to have a bit of everything. It was flat ground when they broke ground in 2010, so all the elevation changes are man-made. Lap records, as you've seen, for our guys there for Dan, but the fastest lap in a Formula 1 car is a 1:36.1 done by Charles Leclerc in 2019. The national circuit, which is slightly different, was done in a V8 supercar. So, whew, God, and breathe. I'm saying, I'm loving all these graphics, aren't you, Smithy?
Nice little upgrade to the system, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's we were just talking about this. You like it. I don't dislike the track, but I didn't do very well at it, and I didn't have a lot of pace, so I don't know why, but yeah, it's I think it's a bit of a Marmite one. I think some people like it and some hate it. Right, moving on. What have we got to do next? Oh, honestly, there's so much to do as every week. Championship standings, that's what we want to do next. And hopefully any second you're going to get a nice little graphic up on your screen about the championship standings. I'm going to read them out for you when my screen catches up. And clean sweep last week, grand slam for Overtaker. He leads the way with 53 points. That's 2 wins, one pole position and 2 fastest laps. In second place is Unorthodox with 35 points, and Gary Jaeger Motorsport brings up in third at 31 points. Fury in fourth place, 25 back on 28 points, and Plava in 5th, Smoking Hot Racing in the Ferrari with 22 points. Sutty Apex is in 6th place, Simplay Racing in the Ferrari with 19 points. Little Leach is 7th place, Love Island Bombshells in his Audi with 18 points. Peaceful Explosion, Mike for Simplay Racing with 16 points, 37 off the lead. Matt with not the start that he wanted, Jaeger Motorsport, he's got 14 points, 39 off the lead. In 10th place, JM Grill, Speedy Frogs, love that name, with 39 points. We have Richie just behind him, his teammate in P11 with 12 points. Smoky Devil with 4 points, and he makes P12. Yet to score, Holty with is P13. Disco Face with a qualifying ban this evening is in 14th place. 15th is D Biggs, and Big Boy Brazier with a qualifying ban as well. And is he with us tonight?
No, he's yet to be here so far.
Yeah, yet to get here. He's still got some time, and he brings up the rear also with a qualifying ban this evening. Right, Smithy, I think we got also. Oh, hang on now. Yeah, on my screen that's coming up. Of course, what we see on the screen, we're a bit delayed from what you see. So if these things don't match up perfectly, yeah, sorry about that. Right, before we get into it, I'm just going to have a quick hello and say hello to some of the people in the chat. Disco Face, he's now on track. PN Motorsport, good evening. Monkey Boy, my teammate, good evening, mate. Good race last night. Forzy Y, hello, mate. Welshie in there as well. Smithy, that would be you, Smithy. Peaceful's mum, good evening, part of the Peaceful Massive, and Max Mulder, and good evening, Max. Didn't see much of you at all last night. You were gone and away in the distance for me, but good evening to all those people in the chat. Please keep your comments coming. We love to hear from you, and it gives us stuff to talk about. And breathe.
Looks like they're still selling rocket fuel in the Lamborghini.
Absolutely, and look at that time, look. That is just rapid, isn't it? It's, you know, these the guys, as I said in the intro this evening, the guys are going to have to look at this guy, stop fighting amongst themselves, and take a look at this guy, because there is work to do. He's a full 2 seconds faster than anybody else at this moment. This is only practice, of course.
Yep.
And qualifying is comes after this. We have a 20-minute practice session if you don't know how the format works, and then a 10-minute qualifying and a race of 14 laps. God dear. And then we do it all over again. Qualifying and another race.
Nice to see Holty here this week.
Yes, nice to see Holty made it this week. Couldn't get in last week, or couldn't make last week for whatever reason, but good to see him on track. He is come up from Pro-Am and came third in the champion. Yeah, he did come third, didn't he, in the Pro-Am champion? Yeah? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, came third, and
his teammate Fury done well last week.
yeah, Fury's an absolute flyer. As we said, Fury being one of the young guns and a guy to watch. He's just so quick, so confident.
He's looking sharp tonight as well.
Yes, he is, absolutely. And the Mercs should do well down the back straight here. What we found last night was there's a lot of Acoras and Porsches in Pro-Am, and again, if you get the opportunity, go back and watch it. There was some interesting races, and another race win for Dean Wasocki, which was awesome to see. He certainly found his feet in that Acura, and we did find that the speed advantage, there wasn't much between the cars last night. But the Merc might have the legs on most stuff down this long back straight. What do you think, Smithy?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Well done to Dean again. Another race win. It's been a long time.
Yeah, been a long time coming for Dean. He had one back in the early days of Simplay, which was in the wet. He then had one last week in the wet, but he proved he can do it in the dry last night, and it was a titanic battle. I didn't see any of it. I was at the back with damage, and but I did watch it back a little bit at lunchtime today, and they had quite a titanic battle. I don't know if you got a chance to look at it back, Smithy.
No, I haven't watched any of it as yet.
Well, it's something for everyone to do over the weekend. Get back and have a look at the Pro-Am Championship last night here at COTA. It was definitely worth a watch for sure.
Nice to see this man here this week as well. Hopefully his teammate will turn up.
Absolutely, yeah. D-Biggs here. Ginsters aren't a proper Cornish pasty, as it says at the top. The way pasty's spelt is about as authentic as a Ginsters, but we won't get into that. The quick Latvian there with some damage to his Ferrari already. It is only practice, so it doesn't really matter. So yeah, but he's where is he? Enplava fourth on the at the moment. So he's he's showing some pace. For sure.
Not a lot between the top 8.
No, not a lot at all. And I mean they're all yeah, they're all going quite well. What times were you doing last night?
Quite a way off these boys. 2:12 constantly lapping.
Yeah, I was
pretty slow, to be fair.
I wasn't doing much better, to be fair. You know, I was doing 11s and 10s. I think I dipped into the very high 8s in the practice session. But yeah, I wasn't. It's one of those, isn't it? As I said, I've no reason why I didn't have the pace. I just didn't have it.
I found it very slippery around there last night.
Oh yeah.
Very slippery.
I found race 2 again harder than race 1 for some reason, and this game, Project Cars, seems to do that. It seems to throw up. The time of day was pretty much the same. Carrying a little bit more fuel for the second race, and I made no changes, but it seemed to be slipperier, and it just does that from time to time, doesn't it? It just catches you out a bit.
Yeah. I don't know what happens in the game, but like you say, something changes somewhere along the line.
Absolutely. Just jump into the chat. Monkey Boy, good evening, Kelly and Smithy. The first race was good, but don't mention the second one. No, we're kind of glossing over that, Monkey. And hello to Twisted Tia. Go Fury. It must be a friend of Fury's, part of the Fury Massive.
Fury fan.
That's right. He's got quite the fan club. And Phil, hi KLF. Yeah, I'm good, mate. Thank you very much. And Welshie, well, you've already said hello, Welshie, but hello again.
I'm not bad, Phil. Cheers, mate.
Yeah. Thanks for asking Smithy, innit? Yeah, poor old Smithy. Yeah, they'll get used to you, mate. They'll get used to you.
Yeah, fine. We'll have a little fan base.
Yeah, you'll build one.
I used to have a fan. I don't see her in the chat much anymore.
No, somebody did. Oh no, that's you. No one has mentioned you yet. Yeah, I used to have a fan club as well, but they seem to have. So when my stint in pro, they seem to have all left me because they kind of realised I wasn't all that. Kind of realised I wasn't all that when I got to pro, probably. Did I see Jamie Brazier join the session just a minute ago? Did I see that come up on my screen? I might well have done.
Not in at the moment. Yeah, he's not in at the moment. With currently 14 drivers still. Big Boy Bravier's chatting on the screen, but I can't see his name on the list.
Right, I'm sure. I think he might have joined the session, so he might get in for quali. That might be.
He's got a quali ban, hasn't he? I believe.
Yeah, but he might get into the session for quali. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, he'll get himself.
People on a quali ban.
Yeah, him and Disco. And is there another?
I believe they're the only 2.
Right. Okay, so 2 on a qualifying ban. Yeah, I think to be fair, the turn 1 is tricky. Turn 1 uphill and then downhill to a point. Whoever designed that, well, I know designed it. Herman Tilke did. I don't know if Herman had a bit of a headache that day, because how he came up with that, I'll never know. And it's
I found the worst place to lose a lot of time was the long straight coming up to that tight little hairpin.
So the long back straight.
Yeah, on that horseshoe. If you nail that corner, you can gain a lot of time on there.
Oh, so you're talking downhill just before you get to the back straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that widens up as well. And I
Yeah.
think is this map coming down to it now on the screen? It is, isn't it? Look how it widens right out, and then tightens up to the apex. It's a weird one. There's multiple lines. Really hard to defend that corner, but you want as much drive as possible down this back straight that we're on right now. And that is you're quite right. There's lots of time to be won and lost right there, isn't there?
Yep.
Absolutely. I was struggling here in practice getting the car slowed down. Dan gave me a little tip on that, which I'm not going to reveal to everybody, to improve my braking, which actually was working for me, but it took a minute or two to get into that mindset, because he kind of come up with something, a different way of doing it, and then you have to change your style, which did work for me last night, and I've been adopting with practice this evening. So this bit here is the bit that replicas Turkey, Istanbul circuit, and instead of going left, it goes right, like a triple apex thing. Again, you kind of have to be patient at the beginning and then nail it at the end. Last corner as well, Smithy. How are you getting on with the last corner?
The last corner wasn't too bad, I didn't find. Not like I say, I wasn't the quickest, but I got round there numerous of times, no problem.
Yeah. And I find the last corner, it's one of those that you want to brake later than you actually can. And it's easy to run, and I know the stewards are looking at track limits, certainly on the exit of that one, because it is really easy to run wide, but there's a huge runoff. So we are at the end of practice, and look at Overtaker. Look, 2:03.4. He is 2 seconds ahead of Fury, who comes in second with a 2:05. Then you've got Emplava and Orthodubs Richie, D Biggs, Disco McDisco Face, Matt, I think, was the next one. So on and so forth. And we are into qualifying. 10-minute qualifying session. How did you go about this one, Smithy?
What, the qualifying?
Yeah, how did you go about it? Did you do one run or did you do a couple?
To be honest, I tried it on softs, and I only managed to get 3 laps, and then I couldn't stay on track. I kept spinning up.
Yeah, so you just had the best of them in 3 laps, like?
Yeah, basically. That's all I tried to do, but I probably should have took hards at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's a hard tyre track for sure. The track temperature is that it's hards all the way really, and I mean, it was worth a shout given qualifying a go on the softs, but I doubt anybody will be doing it here in the pros tonight. I would say it's hard tyres all the way. I did one run, put hard tyres on, fueled for one run, and just went out there and tried to do the best I could. Being it's a 10-minute session and an over a 2-minute lap, it's not going to get a lot, are you?
What were you fuel yesterday? You were heavy fuel?
No,
fuel?
I was light fuel for quali. I basically put 5 laps worth of fuel in for quali, and obviously for the race I refilled it for the race. Closed the radiators down, closed the brake ducts down, took all the fuel out, and went out and tried to nail it.
He ain't got a lot of fuel in this one. He's obviously going for a one-lapper.
No, absolutely. That's drier than a martini, that is. I wonder if he's on softs, I wonder.
Quite possibly.
Yeah, because he's obviously going to do more than one run. With that little of fuel, he's not going to get round the full 10 minutes.
Get round twice, yeah. He ain't going to get round many times with that amount of fuel.
No, indeed he isn't. So we'll see what kind of... Sorry, go on.
Will he only get 2 laps out of that? He's nearly empty. He's only on 4.9 now.
Yeah, I think he is literally going to get 2 laps. It'd be interesting to see, Yeah. Obviously, he can just return to the pits when he's done his lap. And Andy used to do that, being the cracking qualifier that Andy used to be in season 4 and 5, I want to say. Yeah, it would have been. And Andy being a cracking qualifier, but he used to do it that way as well. Where he would just put enough fuel in to do one run, come across the line, and the tank was nearly empty, but then he would reset to the pits and go again, which is, which he can do.
Most certainly. I'm hoping to see a bit more from this man, Richie Rich, tonight.
Yeah, Absolutely, we bigged him up last week, and he had a bit of a shocker at Oscherslaven, but then Oscherslaven can be a bizarre track. So let's hope that one of the speedy frogs is going to be a bit speedier.
I'm not sure who was first out on track.
I wondered if it was Overtaker. You found the track map. That's what I was going to ask. Yes, look now, Overtaker is first on track. He's coming down the hill now, which we were talking about just before the long back straight. So he's got out first.
He's only got 2.8.
He has, hasn't he? Do you think he's underfueled this?
Possibly. He's on he must be on his lap now, I guess.
I think he's underfueled this.
Or he's nailed it to a T.
He's nailed it to a T. But then he's done 2.5 litres to get to this point. He ain't got enough fuel for this. I'm sure of it. Can't be right, can it?
I'm not going to say nothing because he'll probably put in a 203 and we'll just look.
Yeah, it'll go so fast he doesn't need fuel. I'm guessing that's either.
Limits there, though.
Sorry. You were just lagging a little bit there in my ears.
His track limits were a bit on cue there.
Oh yeah, they were a bit keen, was he?
Yeah.
Yeah. As I say, stewards will be looking at this stuff. They are watching all the time. He's come around the thing with 1 litre of fuel. He is not going to get this done this lap. That is not going to happen. He's going to have to go again and look at.
What's he done?
That's the out.
Not a bad banker.
204. Yeah, that's him. He's straight into the pits.
205.
Furious 2.5 behind, and look, we've done 1 fast run, Smithy, and there was 5 minutes of the session is gone.
Yep. They ain't got a lot of time. Well, let's say that Overtaker's played that pretty damn well then, to be fair.
Absolutely, he certainly timed his fuel spot on for that 1 flying lap. Dan goes into 2nd place on a 205. He's 2nd behind Overtaker, but not a bad shout at all. What can Gary do? Yeah, I mean, probably. Well, it's Gary in it.
Like he's a bit safer in that Merc now. He's a bit more steadier in that Merc.
Yeah, it seems to be. And what does he do? Goes 6th, just behind his teammate. Peaceful.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Dubs has gone up to 2nd.
He has. I'm gonna. Can we just turn my turn the stereo up a little bit, because we're just going to sort that. I don't know, we'll find the buttons for it. Honestly, I've got more buttons to press here than when I'm DJing. Mute this, do that, turn this up, turn that down. Right, Peaceful coming up to the line. What can Peaceful do? Where can he put it on his first run? As he comes late before the line. It's not there. Yep, there he goes, and goes into 12th. That's got to be. He's got to be warming the tyres on that one, I reckon. You know.
This is the last man to set a lap.
Yep, last man to set a lap. Richie comes up as Rick on there, like Ricardo, and he's into the long left-hander, right-hander. Not doing the cha-cha slide, left and right and all that. So he comes in.
Carry on, fine.
Comes into the final section, into the last corner. Hard on the brakes, pick up the apex, get on the power quick. Didn't bother the apex quite that much. Let's see what he can do. The start-finish line goes a long way down the first straight before you get to it. What does he do? Goes into 12th.
Not a great lap from Richie Rich.
No, he's got more than that, surely. Again, maybe he's just getting those tyres.
Matt's jumped N and Fury. N's jumped Fury.
N's jumped Fury. Matt's jumped the pair of them. So Matt goes into
a solid 6.
Yeah, I mean, Matt was he was struggling with Oscherslaven last week, wasn't he? And he, by his own admission, he hated the track. So let's see what he can do in a track that's a bit more suited to him. And he's doing the business now. He's currently on the 2nd row.
Overtaker's back out. Dan's a bit closer to over.
Yes.
It was a minute ago.
Yes, absolutely. He's got within 6/10 of Overtaker. Overtaker doing all his preparations here.
Trouble is with this guy, if it's the same as last week, and he starts on pole and he gets ahead,
Yeah.
he's going to take some catching.
Absolutely. This guy is one lap pace is absolutely phenomenal, and if he's got clear air, he's hard to catch, very hard to catch.
I'm not 100% sure it's a good thing if Matt and Dan are beside each other.
Probably not. There was handbags last week.
Yeah, they need to concentrate on this guy in front and worry about getting past him, I think.
Absolutely. I totally agree, but you know, it doesn't always pan out like that, does it? You know, they're both hugely competitive and both want to win, and that's understandable, but
yeah, that's the name of the game.
Yeah, but the threat is in front for these guys, and you know, with a maximum score last week for Overtaker, these guys can't mess about. They can't let him get away.
I can't afford to let him get away, not again. You can't have the same as last week, all the points.
No, this is it. And you know, I spent 20 minutes last week bigging up everybody and saying what a fantastic season this is going to be. What we don't need is a whitewash. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what we don't want that this year.
Absolutely not. So these guys need to get on top of it. And I know it's only round 2 and 3, and we've got a long way to go in the season, but you know, it all counts, doesn't it? You know.
Every point counts. Every little point. Peaceful's now up to 8th.
Yes, he did. So that's a better showing from Mike. And
Richie Rich has just jumped up to 6th.
Ah, look, Richie Rich now with a 2:06. Now that's more like it. This is getting more like what we were promised, wasn't it?
Look at that time. There's not a lot in that at all.
Not at all. And he only needs a little bit there just to break into the 2:05s. He's up on this lap. And where is he on track? He's coming down to the back straight, so he's up in the final sector. That is the clock run out. Of course, they can finish the lap they're on. Works like all qualifying sessions do. And Overtaker, where is he? Is he? Oh, he's in the last. Yeah, he's in the last sector. He's going to be. He's got someone in front of him. I can't. He's not. Yeah, there's a Mercedes just in front of him. So no, Fury, yeah, is Fury the next? Holt, must be Holty, yeah. So Holty is going to be the next one across the line. Oh, Overtaker got a little bit squirrely. Holty's back. Yeah, he's bailed on that one. Overtaker had a bit of a moment coming out of the penultimate corner. Let's see if he improves on his time. 2:04.1 currently. Does he go quicker than that? Yes, he does. 2:03.8, and that's it. He's out of fuel. He's done. So we've got Fury still on track.
Not higher up there, to be fair.
Who?
Gary. I thought he'd be a little bit higher up on this track. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's bailed out on that one. He's not going to continue that lap. Richie was on a quicker one. Will he go forward? He doesn't. He doesn't, so he ends up 6th.
And one man left on track, and that's Little Lich.
Craig going to pull us out some magic.
Has he changed his engine?
Goes across the line. We didn't see it, but we will in a second.
Take us from.
Okay, pole position with a stunning 2:03.8, which I think has destroyed the lap qualifying record, is the Overtaker in first place. Dan also on the front row, 1/8 of a second behind. He lines up second place. The second row's occupied by those old sparring partners. Matt Makajimovic is in third place, and then Plava on 4th as the graphic comes up. 5th. Third row is occupied by Fury and Richie with a better run. Gary's in 7th. Don't count him out from there. Peaceful also could have a good run from 8th place. D Biggs in 9th. Little Leach in 10th. Holty lines up 11th. JM Grill in 12th. And that'll be Smoky Devil in 13th. Big Boy Brazier and Disco McDisco Face line up on the back of the grid with qualifying bands. So,
not a bad place to start.
Not a bad place to start at all. The chat's all gone a little bit quiet, so hopefully you're just paying attention, people. And what do you reckon, Smithy? Who for the win?
It's hard to see past Overtaker when he's out there on pole.
Right.
I'm gonna go with Fury.
Gonna go with Fury, right you are.
Yeah.
Dan's done this thing of not backing me for absolutely anything. Well, I'm not going to stick with that because I think Dan's got a chance at this one. So I'm going to go with Dan. Sorry about that, Dan, if I've just cursed your race.
That's it, Dan's not finishing.
The commentator's curse. It's real. Believe me when I tell you, it is real. So we're just waiting. Yeah, let's hope not. Let's hope not. His rear wing seems to be intact, as does Matt. So let's see how long they keep hold of their rear wings for. And so we're just syncing up at the moment. So what's happening behind the scenes is these guys are just checking their fuel, their pit strategy, and everyone's in. You see the screen change. Some lights come on. We're syncing. We're getting ready to go. And we've got lights, red, and green, and we're away. Overtaker with an epic start. What were the other guys doing? He's absolutely nailed that. Matt's already got past Dan, and Fury's in there as well as they go up to turn 1. Overtaker has got it done into turn 1. No hassle, no dramas for him. The rest of the pack are chasing. It's Fury comes down the inside, and Matt's hang out to dry a little bit on the outside. Dan's in there as well. They'll be mad to try and overtake through the S's as they come through. Overtaker's already a second ahead. We're only 3 corners in, so can the rest of them catch him? It's Fury who's going after him, and Matt beyond. Who did?
Oh, whoever's in the red.
That would be Holty, was it? Holty gone wide. We had a spinner in the background. It must have been probably Disco in the background. Gary has dropped one behind, I think, behind Peaceful. But out front is Fury who's chasing Overtaker, but he's got Matt and Dan in very close company. Richie Rich with a good start. I'm calling him Richie Rich now. In 3rd place, and Enplava, the Latvian, is your man in 6th as they come through. Not too many crazy incidents in the first part of the race. They're onto the back straight now, and D Biggs.
This camera angle on this track side is horrible on this track.
Absolutely, we had this last night, and it seems to be on Project Cars that that Peaceful having to go down the inside. They're 3 abreast as they go into that corner. We're watching D Biggs. The action was happening just a couple of cars ahead, and Peaceful has made it stick. He's put one over on Enplava. Enplava will not be having that. Who's behind him? That's Gary. Don't ever count Gary out of anything ever. And he's right in there as well. He also seems to have an awful lot of luck, does Gary, as well. I mean, he seems to be one of those lucky guys in life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's probably got a bit of Irish in him, I reckon.
That's it. The luck of the Irish. So it is. You know, that was an Irish impression there. Sorry. It's okay. I'll probably at some point do my Sean Connery impression throughout the season, and it's horrendous. But anyway, moving on. Overtaker lap 1 has got 1.5 seconds already over the rest of the pack. Is he going to be gone, Smithy?
I've got a feeling he might.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they needed to nail him into turn 1.
What was the pit window, please, Kelly?
Oh, that is an excellent question about what the pit window is, and I will just come back to you on that. And the pit window is 3 to 8, as Hayley's just nudged me on the shoulder and already written it down. Bless her.
There you have it then. End of lap 3 to 8.
Yep, end of lap 3. So it's a long. Sorry, mate.
You've got a nice little bunch from Enplava back to 12th.
Yes, indeed, a nice little scrap going. And who's that off?
D Biggs, is it? Big boy
D Biggs. Yeah, D Biggs, I think it was, had a bit of a coming together, did he, with Little Leach there? I didn't quite get it. So why don't I look over to me stream, because that's a little bit behind, so we can have a look at that again. But somebody else just wide off track there as well. Here we go. Look, Enplava having another go back at. I'm trying to watch 2 screens here. It's never going to work. Enplava trying to go round the outside of Peaceful. That's not going to work.
Gary's nicked one off Enplava.
Yeah, but Enplava's got the inside line, but he's not close enough. It looks like Gary, with the luck of the Irish, has gone right round the outside of En. He gives him room through there, and En's just going to have to yield that one and regroup and go again. They've got Jamie.
He's got 3 seconds up on Peaceful.
Yes, he has. So, Dan, what's happened to Fury? Fury's gone back. Has he had a moment? He must have had a moment somewhere in there, because Matt's got past him, and now Dan's up the inside. Dan's got the inside line. Fury sticks it out round the outside. Watch the Merc power now. Look at it. Just pulls
Not
up.
a very long straight.
It's not a very long straight, but the Merc power, look, is enough just to drag Fury in front, enough to be able to cut in front of Dan and take that position back. Dan strongly had that in the last corner, but the Merc power just took it back away from him. Dan with work to do.
Lap 3, and he's already 3 seconds ahead. He's nearly taken a second a lap of everyone.
Yeah. Last week he won the first race with something ridiculous, like 25 or 30 seconds or something.
30 seconds, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely mental. And it could be someone saying, "Oh, that's Emplava." I think that's Emplava gone round. Yeah, lost it in the S's. Or was he nudged? Did he jump or was he pushed? We'll leave that.
This man I expected to see a bit higher up on the grid, but then he did start on the back of the grid, I suppose.
He did start at the back of the grid, with the pace being quite strong, look. You know, all in the 6s and the 7s. It's hard to come back from the back, isn't it? You know, especially when in Pro. Pro is such a different ball game. You know, if you're not on pace, you're nowhere. If you're on pace, you've then got to be faster. You know,
Just 4 seconds up already.
Yeah. 4 seconds up. Are we going to see a double Grand Slam? I certainly hope these guys are able to stop the rot really quite quickly.
Perhaps if we nominate him for a race win, we'll have Commentator's curse, make it a bit more interesting.
Absolutely. Okay, yeah. Well, sorry about that, Overtaker, but we might well use Commentator's curse on you regularly. Dan's got back past Fury. We didn't see where, but Dan's managed to go back past Fury, and he's up into 3rd place and behind Matt now. But they are nearly 5 seconds drift now off the leader.
They overtook Peaceful now.
Yep, looks like it. Has Peaceful had a bit of a moment, or is Jamie? I don't know. I think Jamie's just moving quickly, isn't he? Because Peaceful was right up with Gary. So yeah, maybe just Jamie's just managed to take that position from him. This is a nice little battle, isn't it? And 3 very quick boys, Gary, Jamie and Mike here, all well seasoned pros, were all around even before I got involved in this league. So, or prior, I think they're all prior to this league.
You know, in the pits, he's first to pit.
He's first to pit. Has he got damage from that incident, or is he just taking advantage of the early pit stop? I pit stopped early last night, gave me a hell of an advantage. I got a really good pit stop. Disco's in with no rear wing, so he's got damage. So yeah, rear wing damage for Disco, so that might keep him in the pits for quite a long time. Emplava's still in there as well. Here we go. Here we go. Watch out. Here we go. It's Gucci versus Jimmy Choo.
Not again.
Not again. And yeah, keep it clean, boys. Let's behave ourselves.
The Mercedes should have the pace over that.
Should have. It should have. Yeah, look, Dan is unable now to catch any further as the Merc just slowly starts to pull away. Dan's going to end up jumping back into slipstream, or is he going to try and duke it out under braking? Dan's got the inside line. If he can hold Matt up under braking, which he does, but Matt's got the inside line for the next one. But Dan, yeah, Matt is going to send it. He's going to send it. They give each other room. It's about time. And Fury's in this one as well. And it's again, give each other racing room. Dan with the inside line takes all the curb, but inside limits. Matt's still there. They're going round into triple now. Somebody's got to yield. They can't go side by side. Dan gets pushed out a little bit. That's gonna. You can't be up on that curb. That's ruined it for Dan. He's got to regroup and go again. Look who's not far behind, Smithy.
Richie Rich. He's hanging in the back there, Richie Rich. Oh, Big Boy's overtook Gary now. This is a battle that we haven't seen for a very long time.
Absolutely. Jamie's done a long stint in the commentary box. Gary's in.
Decided to pit.
Yeah.
N-Dubs is in as well. N-Dubs has took an early pit.
Yeah, I think Dan probably looked at that and thought, let's get ourselves into clear air. Dan was certainly talking about the speed of my undercut last night and how powerful it was. Maybe he's trying it for himself. Luckily, as you've seen, it all ghosts in the pit, and he didn't crash into to Gary's mechanics. So Dan and Gary, they've done their pit stops, and
this bloke is 7 seconds up.
Yeah, Peaceful's in now as well. He's got himself out of that battle, probably trying to get clear air to give him. Holty's in next. And if you're unaware of how these things work as a championship, you can't pit at the same time as your teammates. So Fury and Holty being teammates, they couldn't pit at the same time because you only got one pit box, just like Formula One or touring cars or whatever. So you can only pit one at a time. So you have to communicate with your teammate. And yeah, how's that panning out for you? You communicate with your teammate, Smithy?
Oh, first week I've had him actually, this week.
Yeah.
To be fair, he weren't there last week, and then he decided to disconnect. I think from the second from last lap on the first race.
Remind me, I'm
15 points.
Remind me, I'm struggling to remember who your teammate is.
Argy Bargy.
Argy, yes, of course it is. Yeah, my old sparring partner. We've had some ding dongs.
But he pulled it out of the bag second race, got us a few points for podium. Can't moan about that.
Yeah, absolutely. He had a good run in the second race. Let's say we're old sparring partners. We've come door to door many, many times. And talking about door to door, that's what Fury's looking at. He's all over the back of Matt like a cheap suit, and he wants that position off him. Sorry, excuse me. I was just taking a mouthful of tea then.
Rich is hanging in the back there.
He is, isn't he? He's not.
Last week. This is what we wanted to see from Richie Rich.
It is. I think we should start adopting Richie as our underdog. You know.
I already took the Latvian on.
Oh well, I'm going to go. I'm not our underdog. Our underfrog.
Our underfrog.
Hey, see what I've done there? Boom, boom. I'm here all week.
We've got 3 in the pits. D-Biggs, Little Leach, and Matt decided to come in. Fury stayed out.
Matt's in and out. He's probably taking advantage of being able to set the pit stop up. Well, because he's already on his way out, as is Little Leach, as is now D-Biggs. So, the 3 that were battling, Matt, Fury, and where's Dan? Where's Dan? Is he going to get out? Yeah. Matt's already round the corner. So, worked out better for Matt than it did Dan. That could have been on pit stop times, because Matt did seem to have a real flyer.
How roughly long is this pit stop, can you remember?
Oh God, I can't. And do you know what? Every week I mean to time how long it takes to get in and out. But of course, the station
20 odd seconds, I reckon.
It's got to be. I mean, it's a really reasonably simple pit entry, although there is a wall that you've got to kind of get slowed down for, because you might bump into it. But the exit is nice and simple, so I don't think it's horrendously long. But yeah, probably 20-25 seconds. Your stationary time is going to matter, and this is what we said about setting the pit stops up. If you do it properly, and we call it a glitch, I hate that term, right? But if you set your pit stops up properly, you can get a pit stop less than a second. The standard, if you don't set it up, is about 5 or 6 seconds stationary. Now, both Dan and Matt and most of the field know how to set these pit stops up, so they would be going for the quickest pit stop they can. You still with us, Smithy?
I am. I was going to say something and I literally went like a goldfish. Words, nothing came out of my mouth, and I completely forgot within the 5 seconds what I was going to say.
And I'm sure that doesn't happen to you often.
As boring as it probably was going to be, I completely forgot.
Oh dear. Okay. Adventure before dementia.
Fury's in, big boy's in.
Right, let's see where...
The commode last week and now dementia this week.
Absolutely, we cover all the geriatric subjects. Yeah. Okay, Fury's out of his pit box. Where is Matt? That's the interesting thing, because he was all over Matt. Matt's coming over the line now. Where is Fury? We apologise for the cameras. There's nothing we can... Yeah, he's got in front of him, so status quo there, really. Down in the background, so... Yeah, so these 3 pretty much status quo from where they were before the round of pit stops. We're half distance through the race already, so still plenty of action to happen. How long? Rich, JM Grill. This is in the other Speedy Frog Mercedes. He's in and out reasonably quickly, but his mate Richie is now in second place, but he hasn't stopped yet. So we're going to see what kind of stop Richie has. We'll go in a bit longer.
Has Peaceful stopped yet?
Yes.
I haven't seen him. Yeah, does he?
Yeah, stopped. Yeah.
Shame to see him down in 14th. His partner Sutty won't be too impressed. I wouldn't have thought with this one.
He's stopped twice. Peaceful stopped twice, apparently.
I just remembered what I was going to ask.
Ah, excellent. Go on.
Could you run me through the constructors, please?
Can I run you through the constructors? There's a great thing that I haven't done. I'm glad you said that.
Is Overtake the winner not on his own, or is there a team
well, just give me a minute for my aging computer to load.
Dan just had a moment. Dan had a big moment.
Did he? And is he? He's kind of recovered it, has he?
Yeah, he had a bit.
A little bit of Fury. Yeah, Fury back on the back of Matt, so this is going to hot up. This is exactly what Dan needs. He needs these two to squabble so he can just get back on the back of them.
Richie's now in the pits. So
Richie in the pits.
The last one, the pit.
Yes, you're correct. Yep. So Richie in the pits. Let's see what kind of pit stop he has. He's stationary. He's stopped. And Fury on the back of Matt. He's still stuck. He's and he's away now. I don't think that's going to. I don't think that's going to do him any good.
Going to be tight.
Do you think he's going to split the? Do you think he'll jump Dan?
I'll be behind Dan, I reckon.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Coming past it, really come.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think Dan's. Oh, I don't know. You know. Oh, that's close. He's done it, you know.
Yeah.
Richie has split and got himself in between Fury and Dan, so that was good driving from him, absolutely. Dan won't be happy about that. That's another Merc he's got to watch the back of. So let's.
Coming to lap people.
He is, yeah. He's coming up behind Disco. He would have already lapped Disco. Sorry, he's coming up behind Peaceful. Yeah, absolutely. So I'll get to those constructors' points in a minute, but just seems to be plenty to watch just for the moment. And yeah, this is the battle. This is probably the biggest. Oh, look.
These four. Yep, these four.
Yeah, these four. This is the battle to watch. Fury having a look on the long straight. You need to get the traction good and keep it on the track. Try not to run out on that curb. Dan's going to struggle to catch these Mercs in a straight line. And again, of course, it depends how you set the car up, of course. And
Gary's lost a lot of time because Big Boy Brazier in 6th.
Yes, you're right, he has. We don't know where he's lost that time, if he's had a moment or not. Fury pulls up, overtakes in for his pit stop, and Matt's 34 seconds behind that. So I think he'll be in and out reasonably quickly. Does he know how to set the pit stop up? It's not exactly a quick one.
Not the quickest, but...
No, but he had time in hand, didn't he?
Okay.
Yeah, he had a bit of time. He could have got out, had a cup of tea. He could have picked some strawberries, actually, couldn't he? You know?
Walked around the car, looked at it and got back in.
Yeah, put a coat of wax on it, check tyre pressures, you know, put a new stereo in it. Yeah. But he's gone. This is going to be the fight for second place. And at the moment, the podium positions are anybody's. Dan's passed Richie. I think Dan is strong through that final sector, you know, because he seems to make all his moves in that final sector. So Dan's got the job done. He's going to have to go back after these two, and he's going to want these two to make contact. Fury going round the outside. Matt gives him room. It's going to be a fight around this. Matt has to yield the position because Fury had the inside line as they go through the S's. Matt's going to have to regroup and get back at him. Dan wants these two to be scrapping as much as possible so he can get back on the back of these two Mercs. Oh, look at Fury all over the shop through the S's.
Slippery.
Very slippery. His driving's no better.
Do you reckon they're similar in setups, even though they set their own cars up?
And Matt's touched the back of him. Matt's doing the right. Matt's gone round as well. Matt went round as well. I thought he was backing off to let him through, but they touched through the S's. Dan said, "Thank you very much." Matt's backed off. He is. Matt's backed off. Matt's backed right off. That's lost him another position. He goes in behind Fury, and he's going to be with his teammates. Teammates probably not going to give him a lot of hard time. Well, maybe he is. He's going to go right past him.
He done that last week. He don't care, old Gary. Straight past
no, he don't care. So if you're wondering why he did that, considering they both spun, I think you'll find that Matt tapped the back of Fury, and to avoid getting a penalty, Matt decided to hang back for him and give the position back. Now that's the right thing to do, but it's now put Matt back into 7th place behind his teammate. So that little touch has ruined their races, really, hasn't it?
That has, yeah. We've got 5 laps to go.
5 to go.
Something could happen. I think Fury will still catch Richie. I'm not sure about this man that started back of the grid 3rd. He's not having a bad race now.
No, at all. And how did he get past Rich? Rich was behind Dan. Has Richie had a moment? And,
no, I think he slowed down when they all come together. When they had to avoid Matt.
Right, had to avoid, yeah, maybe had to avoid the collision or whatever. Dan got through cleanly, but maybe Richie didn't. We didn't quite see it.
Must be raining on Gary's game. He's got his wipers on.
Oh, yeah, it happens. It's the Dean Wasocki look of having your wipers on. I think I was sporting it early part of last night. They were still probably on from Oscherslaven, to be fair. So, Matt's now back behind Gary. He will not be happy that things panned out that way. And as you say, Big Boy Brazier is now on the podium positions. How did that happen?
He'll be chuffed. He will be chuffed.
It's strong from the back of the grid, isn't it?
This quality, yeah, that is. If he finishes 3rd, that's a good result in pro from back.
Absolutely. So it will be, if he can make it to the end of the lap, at the end of the race, and we've still got 4 to go. 4 laps is still quite a lot round here. So yeah.
I'm surprised to see Peaceful and Disco at the back.
Yeah,
Maybe he's not quite sus the old Lambo like he had the BMW.
Maybe. I think they've both had their fair share of incidents. We know Peaceful stopped twice. Has Disco been in more than once?
Yeah, he lost a wing.
Lost a wing. We know that. So they've had their fair share of problems. We can see Fury is gaining back onto Richie. Richie's going to have his hands full in a minute. Shall I tell you about the constructors' points now?
Yeah, we've got a bit of space between us.
Let's hope so. And in first place is Love Island Bombshells. That's Dan and Little Leech with 53 points. Overtaker Muck Disco Face Racing, which is Overtaker and Disco and Disco Face, are in second place on 54. All those points gained by Overtaker at the moment. Jaeger Motorsport, that's Matt and Gary. They're in 3rd place with 45 points. Simplay Racing in the Ferraris with 35 points. Teletubby Motorsport with the Mercedes with 28 points in P5. Smoking Hot Racing, the Ferraris, 26 points in P6. Speedy Frogs in P7 in the Mercedes with 26 points. And Ginsters aren't proper pasties, are in P8 yet to score. But Jamie is putting pay to that as we speak.
I reckon Fury's going to get Richie Rich.
I think he might, I think he might. Richie's, yeah, Fury is highly experienced in GT3, and Richie's. We've had experience with Richie in touring cars on another league. Me and Dan commentated on him in another league where he had great pace, but in that league we never saw him run GT3. Whereas we know Fury's had season after season of experience in this car. So yeah.
If you're Matt, do you give Gary the position for points for the championship? I know it's only a place, but how many can qualify next race?
Oh, it'd be how many started? 15, top 7, top 8 can't qualify, is it? We will soon know. Gary's further up the championship table than Matt is, So I mean, it's early days, isn't it? Oh, look at that! That was
Matt now.
Gary was right on top of the brakes there, wasn't he? No, that's Matt, wasn't it?
That was Matt, yeah. Rich is pulling away again.
Yeah, Matt was right on the brakes, trail braking all the way in there, managed to slow it down and gain the position, get up beside Fury. That was a lovely move. He's going to do the pair of them.
Hello.
Hang on a minute, it's all got very pro-am all of a sudden. And all those Mercedes bumping into each other, look. It's Mercedes. And they're all there, and they've all got their rear wings on, which is absolutely surprising. But Richie... for now, but Richie is still in front, and he's a feisty one, isn't he? He's not giving that up, he's not intimidated. not in the slightest. As they go round, look at these lot. This is great racing, this is. And they keep it reasonably clean. There's a bit of tapping and bumping. Oh! That's
Gary.
Richie and Gary there. They all get back in. Oh, Richie comes right across. That might be one Haley is desperately writing in my book for me. And we have really got a, you know, this is like a market of handbags, isn't it?
You pushed me off on me, I'm coming back.
Absolutely, could well be. Richie loses two positions. Gary has a look up the inside. Is he going to send it from there? He is going to have a go, and again they touch.
Oh, another little touchy, kissy.
Absolutely. There's, you know, hey, any more touching, they'll have to get a room.
More action here than in my bedroom.
I can't comment on that, I'm afraid, but I can comment on the action that's going on out here. There is a lot of touching going on. Gary still thinks it's raining, but they're still going at it side by side.
I'd like to flick back to end up, so I think he's cut the time down now to 20 seconds and not 24.
Oh, well, that's well done, Daniel. Well done. If you've got another 30 laps, we might see him on the back of him, you know. They've just let him get too far away again, haven't they?
Yeah, we said from the start, if this guy gets pole and nothing happens in the first corner, he's gone. Yeah,
and it's exactly right. Richie with a bit of a strange change of direction. I wonder if he had a bit of a wiggle on acceleration out of that corner, but Gary's still with him. Fury's still looking at the back of Matt. He's not troubling him too much, but he's still in close contact. So Matt with a great recovery drive from where these two, from where him and Fury had a spin. Oh, and Richie's lost it. Oh, well avoided, Gary. Yeah, well avoided. That puts Emplava back in the mix behind Richie.
We've got a little leech in ninth, not far behind us, points.
Absolutely, absolutely for the reigning Pro-Am champion.
I mean, Dan's got a 5-second gap to Big Boy, who's in third, and then Big Boy's got a 7-second gap to Matt in fourth. Big Boy, I'll give my hat off to Big Boy this race. He's done well. He's one of the original. He's one of the original drivers here, and multiple race winner. But he's had a few seasons out, commentated for a little while. You would have heard him commentated for the last couple of seasons, and he's had some time out. Oh, look at these two having a ding-dong. But he is a quality driver, and it's good to see him back in the podium position. Oh, as they touch, Emplava starts to lose the car, but just drags it back in again. There's definitely some action going on here, isn't there? It's a bit slippy slidey at the moment. Tyres, do you reckon, maybe? Maybe not?
Yeah, it could be. Tyres getting a bit... it's not easy through that
no,
S's section, is it?
No, I noticed last night. If you hit the curb slightly, that's it, you're a goner.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time trying to get setting the Porsche up to try and run the curbs best we could, and I could run the second one and the third one, but if you touched the first and the last, you were round. So it depends how people have set their car up to run the curbs. Emplava was very close just then, but Overtaker, well, yeah.
His final lap.
Yeah, going to start his final lap, isn't he? Still on lap 13. Yeah, he's coming round to start his final lap, and no hassle from behind. He can just cruise this one to the end now. Matt, as I said, good recovery drive at the moment to pull off fourth, and yeah, and these still going at it, Smithy, aren't they, look?
They're going to be going at it right to the end by the looks of these two.
Absolutely, and all the points count, so...
the Leach will just be waiting for him to have a little bit of a collision, I think. Thank you very much.
And be there. Game. Absolutely, yeah. Be there to pick up the pieces.
I try that every week, in fact, but you try getting 10 other guys
collide and move out of the way.
Well, it happens a bit more often in Pro-Am, but yeah, once you're in Pro, JM Grill with a bit of a wiggle there, not having the night that he probably would have wanted. Holty with his Pro debut, really, again, probably wanted for more. As I said, Pro is a different league, and you know, I know it actually is a different league, but it really is a different league. You know, the pace of these guys is incredible, and coming up from Pro-Am, it's very daunting. I had 2 seasons of just hanging on to the back, and really was that. You know, it's so difficult. So I feel the pain. Yeah, it looks like it. Looks like it. He's on his last lap.
Yeah.
Where are they? They're just coming in. They're just coming up to the final sector, aren't they?
Great to see 15 drivers finishing the race as well. 15 started.
Yeah, that's looking like it. Yeah, and that's absolutely fantastic. We were commenting earlier, it's a wider track here, isn't it, with a bit more runoff. Yeah. So yeah, it's a bit easier not to for your car not to get heavily damaged, like it was at Oscherslaven.
Plava's managed to pull away from Richie a bit. Yeah,
we didn't see that happen. Yeah, we didn't see that. Yeah, we didn't see that happen, but job done, as you said. So Overtaker, where is he? Just coming over to the line. That'll be race number 3, win number 3. The Grand Slam continues for the Overtaker, and that's another win on the belt. The guys have got to catch him, but it's Dan with a great drive to come in for second place, and avoided all the Mercs.
Thank Matt for that one, I think. Matt and Fury for a little coming together.
Absolutely, and gifted Daniel that one. He managed to, he looks pretty happy with that. And the return of the big boy Brazier.
He's got to be happy with this.
Absolutely, from the back of the grid to third place. Good recovery drive from Jamie. Matt with and also a great recovery from a spin earlier in the lap. Got to be happy with 4th place. And Fury's going to come over the line in 5th. Gary with another Merc. He's going to come over 6th, and it still hasn't started raining yet, Gary. And Emplava, after his scrap with Richie, comes in 7th. Richie Rich is in 8th, the Underfrog, and Little Leach in 9th, and making up the top 10 will be D Biggs. Will come over the line to take 10th. And we've got to wait a little while for Smoke. We haven't said much about Smokey tonight, have we? He's had a quiet race. We haven't really...
Yeah, he has been quiet.
Yeah, he has been very quiet.
There's not been a lot going on at the back there, to be fair.
No, and it is one of those. Being a long lap, you do get spread out quite a lot, and he's going to come home just in front of Holty. So Smokey's in 11th. Holty's going to take 12th. JM Grill, Speedy Frog in 13th. And Peaceful with, again, another probably disappointing race. He had pace. He had, you know, he was going well to start with. He's going to end up in 14th. And Disco Face, again, he's going to be disappointed with his performance tonight and is going to come in 15th. We'll just see Disco come across the line, and there he goes. He completes with flash of the lights. He completes the race. There we go. And as I said, that was your rundown of your runners and riders. So I believe top 7 or top 8, I'm not quite sure, can't qualify. I will come back to you on that. We will get the top 3 in for an interview. We're going to take a short break. Why we're having a short break, Smithy? Yes, sorry. Overtaker with the fastest lap, was it?
Yep,
of course it was. Of course it was. Still a clean sweep. Hasn't dropped a single point. Listen, Smithy, I've got a great idea for the people in the chat to go and do while they're in the break. I think they should pop over to the Audio Sport page on YouTube, where they can see me messing around with Volkswagens, and just give it a like and subscribe while you're over there. If you find that you've had fun with that, then just move on to the Audio Sport face page and just like that. And if you really have got the time, then have a look on the website audiosport.co.uk and have a look at all those. I think that would be great stuff to do through the break. But make sure you're back in about 10 minutes, because race 2 is on its way. We'll take a short break, and we'll be back in a minute.
I've been counting down the days to get out. I've been looking for a way from this town. you're too far away to help me now. So I'm counting down the days to get out. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, fly from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been staring at the sun in my eyes. I've been keeping on the run every night. But you're too far away to see the signs. So I'm staring at the sun till I'm dry. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, fly from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been counting down the days to get out. I've been looking for a way from this town. And you're too far away to help me now. So I'm counting down the days to get out. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, fly from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been staring at the sun in my eyes. I've been keeping on the run every night. But you're too far away to see the signs. So I'm staring at the sun till I'm dry. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, fly from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been counting down the days to get out. I've been looking for a way from this town. And you're you're too far away to help me now. So I'm counting down the days to get out. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, fly from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been staring at the sun in my eyes. I've been keeping on the run every night. But you're too far away to see the signs. So I'm staring at the sun till I'm dry. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, fly from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been counting down the days to get out. I've been looking for a way from this town. And you're too far away to help me now. So I'm counting down the days to get out. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, fly from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been staring at the sun in my eyes. I've been keeping on the run every night. But you're too far away to see the signs. So I'm staring at the sun till I'm dry. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, fly from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been counting down the days to get out. I've been looking for a way from this town. And you're too far away to help me now. So I'm counting down the days to get out. 'Cause I need to learn.
Hopefully you're back from your audio sport adventures, and back with us in the commentary box with me and Smithy is the top three from race 1. Let's get straight into it, and let's talk to your third place man, big boy Brazier, Jamie Brazier. Welcome back to the podium.
Thank you.
How does it feel?
Didn't really expect that one at all.
Absolutely. First things first, Ginsters is not a proper pasty, right? That's
It
not.
is.
No. That's not up for discussion, right? That's a statement. Okay. Moving along. Talk us through that race. You started at the back there with the qualifying ban. How did things pan out for you?
It's kind of a bit of a slow start. Made up a few positions at the start, and then just tried to keep the car on track, and got into a bit of a fight with Gary. I got past him, he got back past me, and then he pitted. And when I pitted and came back out, I was a few seconds ahead. So just tried to close on the cars in front, because I could see there was a group of them: Richie, Dan, Matt, and Fury. Unfortunately for Richie, I saw him spin off, so that was one position. And Matt and Fury had it coming together, and there that was a podium. But yeah, I did not expect that one little bit.
Well, I mean, first round for you didn't pan out the way you wanted to, but a good comeback in this one. What are you expecting for race 2?
Probably not a podium, just to get some more points on the board. So didn't score nothing last week. Just to put some more points on the board and try and kickstart the season. I was just still got to try and find a sweet spot with this Audi, because I'm still struggling.
Yeah.
A little bit with it compared to Dan, because he pulled away from me in the closing stages of that race. So I've got a little bit more to find.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, it's great to see you back on the podium, and we look forward to your more podium appearances and maybe some wins throughout the season. Good luck with the next race, and just to reiterate, Ginsters are not a proper pasty. Okay?
They are.
Mate, it's not. It's a statement, not a discussion. We move on to your second place man, who will agree with me that Ginsters are not a proper Cornish pasty. And in second place, it's unorthodox. Dan, talk us through that race. Kind of, how did that pan out for you?
Avoiding Matt's rear wing like the plague, basically.
Yeah, no doubt at all.
Basically, the whole race was all about turn 1, and if I got a good start, I was going to try and stop Overtaker as best I possibly can, but I cannot seem to get this Audi to start right. I seem to bog down, I can't seem to get it off the line. But after that, Fury and Matt mugged me into turn 1, and it was just kind of sit pretty, kind of wait for the chaos to happen. I had a moment on Fury, got past him, he went wide on one of the corners, and then Matt was just struggling through sector 1. I managed to just out-drag him in one sector, but these Mercedes are just too fast in the straight line compared to the Audi. I just can't fight in the straight line. I have to use the tight twisty sections to get near them. Gary held me up in the pits as he came into the pit lane. Nothing really different to that. He just held me in the pits and couldn't get going quick enough. So yeah, got lucky basically, and I need to find something because Overtaker's running away with this.
Absolutely, you have been quite vocal saying this wasn't going to be a track that you thought you would be very strong at, or you wouldn't think the Audi was going to be very strong at. Certainly the Merc's got that straight line advantage for sure. You're right, you seem to bog down from the start. I know you were looking for a better start, but when Matt and Fury come together, you must have seen that as a gift, mustn't you?
A gift, and also trying not to hit them was the other thing. They basically formed a roadblock in the middle of the track, and just trying to avoid the cars, mainly Matt's car, because I know he wouldn't be too happy if I hit him. But no, it was, like I said, lucky. Race 2, I'm hoping that I can kind of allow the traffic to play in a bit of advantage and hold Overtaker up, but he managed to get through it. Ostraslaven was just difficult to overtake, and it's difficult here. This track I hate. This car is struggling here, and I'm looking forward to Catalonia, even though we still got one race to go.
Okay, well, yeah, best of luck in the next one. It looks to me, if I'm reading the graphic right, that you're going to be at the back. Last place. Yeah, absolutely. Well,
this game hates me now.
Well, some would say that that's an advantage, that it keeps you watching brief on what's happening. But you know, we'll see. But well done for second place, and best of luck in race 2, Dan. And I'm right, aren't I? Ginsters are not a proper pastor.
Yeah, they're not. And well done, Overtaker, for the win.
Absolutely. And we move on to your race winner, the man who hasn't dropped a single point so far, 3 races in. Yam, how are you this evening, and how was that race for you?
Yeah, I'm feeling great. I had a great start, and then it was smooth sailing. I was just super careful in sector 1 to avoid the curbs. I mean, not to avoid them, but not to attack them too much. And then when I saw the speed advantage I had, I just cruised along to the line.
Yes, indeed. It's an impressive start. As I said, you haven't dropped a single point yet. I'm sure there's tracks that aren't going to suit you throughout this season, and I'm sure that we'll see that. But is this track particularly one of your favourites, or do you just have that great setup?
Well, just like I said the last time we spoke, I have a love-hate relationship with this track.
Yeah.
I mean, if I manage to get the first sector right, then I'm pretty fast around here. And listen, this is my second season around here with Lamborghini, and I worked on my setup through the summer, so I find it a pretty much perfect setup for every track, almost every track.
Absolutely, and you'll be starting reasonably high up for a non-qualifier. Race 2, any plans, or just see what happens?
Yeah, about that, I really don't like to start in the middle of the pack. Whenever I do, there's always some drama, and I meant to get some damage, so I would rather be starting in the back. So we'll see what I can do in the middle of the pack.
Absolutely. Well done so far this evening. As I say, you haven't dropped a single point. You're obviously leading the championship, and best of luck for the next race.
Well, thanks, Sam. Congratulations to Dan and big on Brazil.
Absolutely. And okay, so that was your top 3. That was your interviews. The standings. Would you like to know the standings, Smithy, now?
Yep, go for it.
I'm trying. So, as I said, not dropped a single point so far. That'll be Overtaker with 80 points, maximum score. Dan is in second place with 55 points. Gary still in third, consistently scoring with 41 points. Fury is next up in fourth place on 39. Emplava takes up 5th place with 31 points. Matt is in 6th, 53 behind the leader now with 27 points. Little Leach in 7th place with 25 points. Richie making a comeback as the Underfrog comes into 8th place with 20 points. Sutty Apex not here tonight on 19 points. Peaceful Explosion, his teammate, 1 point behind on 18 points. P11 is occupied by JM Grill with 17 points. Jamie Brazier getting off the mark now with 15 points, pulls him up into P12. 13th is Smokey Devil in his Ferrari with 9 points. D Biggs scores 6. Holty off the mark with 4, and Disco McDisco Face staring down the barrel of a Pro-Am relegation if he doesn't get on with it, with 1 point. Oh, Smithy, who is looking for like pole at the moment?
Peaceful's on pole at the moment, followed by Disco, Holty in 3rd, Little Leach in 4th, JM Grill in 5th, Smokey in 6th, and D Biggs coming up in 7th. And there isn't a lot between them, not the top 3 anyway.
Top 3 no, less than a second with those 3. So I mean, Disco could do with a bit of good luck here, and so could Peaceful, to be fair.
If Peaceful could hold it, he could do very well from the start.
Yes, absolutely. And this is what these guys need. You know, they're Holty there in 3rd will be a good. I mean, he's the new boy, he's the rookie to pro, and Disco with a bit of a wobble out the last corner. But Peaceful and Disco are old pros. Do you know what I mean? They're you know, they've been around a while, and oh, look at that! Disco comes within 1/10, literally. Is he going again? That little slide. That little slide probably gave that away, you know.
Cost him that.
Absolutely.
Somebody's got to blow out Overtaker sooner or later. They've got to literally blow the flame off him, because if he comes from 11th through the grid.
Did you see that? That was well held on to. That was well held, Disco. Yes.
A bit of a drift.
Yes, you're quite right, Smithy. Someone has to stop the rot, don't they? You know, it's all a bit Schumacher-esque, Hamilton-esque, Vettel-esque. Do you know what I mean? We need.
He admitted himself he doesn't like being in the middle of the pack. So
no.
He could be too aggressive too early and end up. Let's see how he goes from the middle of the pack.
Yes, you're quite right.
You can't afford to drift off in the middle of the pack because there's people behind you. And you can't afford to push too mad because there's people in front of you.
Absolutely, mate. And
this will be interesting. Gary and Fury in front, Matt behind, Emplava, Big Boy Brazier, and he's in probably the worst place he could be, to be fair.
Absolutely, and you know, I didn't get the opportunity being in pro last year. I didn't, or last season, should I say. I didn't get the opportunity to study Overtaker and how he drives, but I've got the feeling this might be his Achilles heel. I don't think he's, you know, the in traffic, he's as good as he is a pace setter, if you know what I mean, and not taking anything away from the guy whatsoever. You know, I just don't think he's got the same, but we will see. You know, the whole
said on pole, if he gets pole, he's gone, isn't he?
Absolutely, but as I say, he's going to line up looking like 11th with boxed in by some Mercs. It's going to be interesting for sure. Right, let's go back to the chat, and hopefully everyone's come back from looking at all the audio sports stuff. I'll have to check, see if I've got new subscribers, won't I? Bet I haven't. I bet you I haven't. I bet nobody bothered. Did in the chat? Did anybody bother going to look at my audio sport page? Please let me know. Right, so Smithy, who's on pole?
Peaceful on the pole, followed by Biggs with Snook in at second.
He did, didn't he? When did he do that?
Disco third, Little Leach fourth, Holty fifth, JM Grill sixth, Smoky Devlin seventh, Richie Rich coming up in eighth, followed by Gary in ninth. Fury in 10th, Overtaker 11th, Matt in 12th, Emplava 13th, Big Boy Brazier in 14th, and last but not least, N-Dubs from the back.
Yes, indeed. Your predictions, race win.
I'm going to go Gary in 9th, unfortunately.
Do you know what? I'm going to go Disco.
Yeah.
I want to hear that. I want to hear the bagpipes. No, I don't want to hear the bagpipes. Actually, I want to see the Iron Brew being sprayed all over the podium with a win from Disco. So I'm going for Disco.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm going to go for Gary in 9th.
Okay.
If he can get ahead of the big boys that are all behind him.
I tell you what, it isn't a bad shout. We've seen Gary do it from way back, and he's got the luck of the Irish, that's for sure. I've been disconnected too. What has just happened there? We might have a problem. We might have a problem if Dan or Matt is listening. Help! And we've just been disconnected. How many other people have been disconnected? The stream seems to be... I don't know if we've been cut off or not. So bear with us, and we will try and... Firstly, if I've been booted, then you can't see anything, I don't think.
Getting hype when I aim up, elevating that game up, stepping up to the competition. Only first place, and that's how I'm living. I'm with it till they digging up my grave, eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. When I watch me elevate. I was born and when I watch me elevate. I was born and when I watch me elevate. all in when I show up. Whole place about to blow up. Superior to that competition. I'm in first place, yeah, that's how I'm living. I'm winning till they digging up my grave. Eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up in the place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. When I watch me elevate. I was born and when I watch me elevate. I was born and when I watch me elevate.
Broken dreams in my pocket. Golden thing round my neck like a locket. Carve your name in my mind, cause you caught it. You caught it. You're golden, golden. Honestly, you know it. Me under the street like I am, so I could show you. You're golden, golden. Honestly, you're glowing. Me under the mezzanine, just so that I could show you. You're golden. Hey, you're golden. You're golden. Hey, you're golden. Lay on the carpet, eye to eye, glistening. No, I saw it. I saw it. You're golden, golden. Honestly, you know it. Me under the street like I am, so I could show you. You're golden, golden. Honestly, you're glowing. Me under the mezzanine, just so that I could show you. You're golden. Hey, you're golden. You're golden. Hey, you're golden. Golden. You're golden. Yeah, you're golden. You know it. Yeah, you're glowing.
my aim up. Elevating that game up. Stepping up to the competition. Only first place, and that's how I'm living. I'm with it till they digging up my grave. Eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. I was born and when I watched me elevate.
Is not the fantastic place that we think it is, and there's still problems with it, and that is why I don't have a Sky Glass TV. Anyway, we're back, Smithy.
We are back.
We are back, and due to that, you'll look and see that the grid has been mixed up a little bit. So, what we're going to do in these instances is we are going to do a rolling start. So what's going to happen, if you've never seen one of these before, I'll let you know what happens. When the lights go out, there will be a formation lap, so the guys will get themselves into their grid positions where they qualified. Okay, and I'll run you through that as we go round. Now, we've just had it verified. It will be similar to a safety car start. So Mike Peaceful Explosion who is actually the first car in front of you there. He will lead them off. He can go anytime after the penultimate corner. So second to last corner, he can go anytime after that. But there's no overtaking until they cross the line. Now that, I would say, is the start-finish line that is in front of us at the end of the grid. All clear, Smithy?
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good to you. Well, that's good with me. So we've got the lights. We are away. They won't accelerate hard. They'll just pull away from the grid like they've done. Yeah, so whoever's gone flying out in front, JM Grill, then it's not the start of the race. You don't understand how it works. Okay, so
he's gone, boy. He is gone.
Yeah. Maybe he didn't understand that, so that's going to be tricky, isn't it?
Remember, he's French. Yeah, he's French, isn't he?
Yeah.
You better translate.
Let's hope he figures it out. So, the running order is like this. Pole position was Peaceful Explosion. In second place should be D Biggs as they form up. Disco McDisco Face was in third. I'm going to stick to you for the race win, Disco. It's going to be all right. Don't worry. Commentator's curse won't get you. Little Leach in fourth. Holty in fifth. JM Grill, who's gone, who should have been in sixth. Smokey. Richie. Monge 2, Rodders, Monge 2. Gary, then Fury, Overtaker Matt, Ed Plava, Big Boy Brazier, and Dan Unorthodox will bring up the rear. Do you think JM Grills thought to himself, where is everybody else?
He's going to lap people there, man. He's going to be well chuffed.
Absolutely. I don't know how we sort this one out, Smithy. I have no idea. But
I know no French whatsoever.
JM Grill is now under the impression that he's leading by 20 seconds. So, yeah.
He's the new Undertaker in his eyes, isn't he?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
The French Undertaker.
He can't believe his luck that he's got so lucky that all these guys have sorted it out. I really do hope that he gets the message from somebody. With a bit of luck, his teammate Richie, who's in 8th place, hopefully they're in a party together, and he might have told him, you know.
Ooh, the baguette.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking of trying to think of some smart French things. Start thinking of some smart French stuff, but I can't. And I'm scared to death that the only thing I know in French is a swear word, so I'm going to shut up. Dear, oh dear.
He stopped.
Has he stopped? Has he got the message?
He has stopped.
He has stopped. So he needs to line up. Where does he need to line up? This is the next problem. Yeah, I know that, but where is he actually on? He's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's got to get between Holty and Smokey as well. So watch this. This could be.
He's going to pin it. This guy's going to go.
No, so stop there. JM, stop. Bonjour. Oh no, that's hello.
Oui, madame.
Yeah, oui. Okay,
we
so
need to polish up on some French for next week.
yeah, we'll have to. Yeah, we'll have to get some French phrases. As I said, the only one I know, I think. Yeah, I think the only one I know has something to do with your mother, and I don't think it's appropriate. So JM Grill right on the apex of the last corner as well. He won't be popular for that, to be fair. So it's Mike. Oh, Mike brake checks D Biggs there a little bit because Mike's he's
going backwards.
He is, and Mike's. D Biggs is all being a bit of a Verstappen there, isn't he? Getting right up beside him on this start. Mike's going to wait. He's gone now. That's it. He's gone. Thank God for that. It was beginning to get painful. So it's Peaceful leads them off in first place, and D Biggs in second. Disco McDisco Face goes straight on. Goes straight on. The commentator's curse is real. He's back in it though, don't worry. I don't know where JM Grill ended up, in 7th or something. Oh, and that's Holty getting all out of shape. Disco McDisco Face, we're on board with. Oh, and he's round. Oh no. Oh no, that's no iron brew for him. And we're now on board with Fury. Where's Fury? Where is everybody? That's this absolute carnage. It's Merc after Merc after Merc after Merc. Overtaker still back in the pack. Dan's only moved up 1 place. He's still at the back with only Disco that he's passed. So Mike's still leading out. Peaceful Explosion. Look at this lot. Emplava in there. Gary's in there. Matt's in there. JM Grill is. Oh look. Oh look, there's carnage behind as they bump into each other. Oh, they're slapping. Big Boy Brazier's in there. Emplava's off to one side as well. Overtaker is all over the back of Gary. Now Gary's not an easy one to overtake. Overtaker. So let's see how you get on. But it's Peaceful who's got D Biggs within close company. Little Leach is in third. JM Grill, after working out what's going on, is now on a recovery in whatever place he's in, 7th or whatever. And Fury in the mix there as well. So Fury probably the better off out of this lot because he can stretch his legs and get after Holty, his teammate.
Little Leach currently in third.
Little Leach in third. He's on the podium positions. That's the way it's panned out. Peaceful out in front. Are we going to see a Peaceful win? We haven't seen one of those for such a long time. The underfrog Richie is, where is he? He's right in the thick of it in 8th place as well. There's Dan's just. He is, yeah. He's still struggling to get on the back of these lot. Where is he physically on track? He's right in the mix of this lot, isn't he? Yeah, there he is, look, just behind JM Grill. And where's Matt in all this? Matt's doing a bit better in 10th. And Gary further up in 7th. So it should be interesting. There's a lot of people trying to get through the first corner first. And Overtaker up into 8th. He's done Richie. The big boys are letting him get away again.
Gary's slowly creeping up. He's got Smokey in front of him.
Yep.
I thought he'd be behind there for long.
No, they go side. They go side by side. Smokey kind of backs out of it a little bit, and Gary goes on. Gary is about as slippery as they come. He is so incredibly hard, or not hard to race, but enjoyable to race. Do you know what I mean? He is a fierce competitor, attacking and defending. But he's got the job done, and he's up into 6th, and he can start hunting down the guys in front of him. So keep an eye on Gary. It was a good tip, I think, Smithy, from you.
He's a good 4 seconds behind Fury, though. 5 seconds behind Fury.
Yeah, he's got it all to do, but he's still in a good position. Fury could be in a good position. Yeah, absolutely. As they come down the straight, oh, it's going to be interesting down here. They're not all going to get through that. Oh, as Smoky Devils hit the back of. That's spun Matt round. He won't be happy about that. That's for certain sure. Dan's still in the mix there as well. Emplava has got himself back in as well. They're all over the place here. Dan gets shut out of that one. And Dan gets touched. Dan gets touched. He recovers it. He goes across the grass. That's an Acora line. And that's JM Grill round. Dan right in the thick of these things again. Emplava's still in there. Disco in there. JM Grill has fallen back a little bit. So Disco on a bit of a recovery as well, because he's right in the mix again after his poor start. Emplava holding these guys up. Dan not really making forward progress. Matt's still in 10th. He's got Jamie Brazier in front of him. But look at all these guys. Dan's going to have a look down the inside of Disco. Is he going to make it stick? He's on the inside line. They'll have to battle this one out. The Lambo's better. The Lambo's better, got more power, you know, for sure. And Dan's going to have a look down the inside on Disco. I think he's going to get the job done this time. Gets it done. Plav has a bit of a squirrely moment as they come out of turn 1. It's so difficult as you come down the hill off that one. And some fast and furious racing, Smithy.
There is. They're really giving it some this race.
Yes, they certainly are.
Really lucky a bit. He was loving it out there in first place in that practice lap.
Yeah, certainly was.
He must be wondering what the heck. Somebody's checked the clocks. He must be confused. He ain't got a clue where he is.
You don't know what country he's in, bless him. Overtaker's done Gary. So Overtaker, he's now...
Little leak, he's lost out to Fury.
He has. Fury's on a charge. He's the man who could come back and win this one, you know.
He could, yeah. 3 seconds ahead. He's not pulling away at the rate of knots Overtaker. Overtaker's done Gary.
Yeah, he is. I just said that. Glad you were paying attention.
I apologise. 3 jobs at once.
But Richie coming back into this one as well. Gary's going out the outside of Overtaker. We jumped over to Fury, who's on a mission and catching D Biggs now. But look at him in the background there. Again, Overtaker in close company with Gary. Gary had a look at him. Gary will have the bit between his teeth now, and he'll be chasing Overtaker and trying to close him down. And Fury.
This guy off, if he can get seconds on people each lap, he'll get his way up there.
He will, mate. Yeah, we've got to keep an eye on him. Richie dives in the pits, does he? I think he has. The Underfrog is in the pits. So's D Biggs. So's Little Leach. Yeah, they've all dived into the pits. Fury is up into second and now can look at hunting down Peaceful. And Plava in as well. So a lot of guys opting.
Disco, we've got 5 in the pits.
A lot of them opting to go early at the end of lap 4. Surprised Dan didn't do it either. Dan would want to get himself into clean air. But again, Dan and Matt end up on the same, roughly the same part of track. And Overtaker, he's on to,
gone wide.
Yeah, he has gone a little bit wide, but he recovers it back. So Overtaker is now onto the back of Holty. I mean, he could come through and win this, you know.
He could, yeah. If Fury pits and Overtaker can stay out and gain a second.
Absolutely.
He can be with nobody about.
Oh, Holty lost the back end there. That just gave the position to Overtaker. Really, it's a power thing now. Look, as they go side by side. The Merc's still got a slight edge, isn't it? But he's on the outside line. He's on the outside line, Smithy. I think Overtaker, as long as he hits his brakes.
See, this is going to be interesting. This is going to be an interesting race now, I think.
It is now, because Fury's no pushover. Fury is, he's like his namesake.
Overtaker's 3 seconds adrift. Let's see. Within lap 5, 3 seconds behind by lap 6 or 7. Lap 8, I reckon he'll be down to 1 second.
Yes, indeed. Holty got on a bit back end, all that shape. Gary did very well to miss the back of him, and Dan
Fury must have had a spell. Fury's gone right back.
Who's that? Matt avoiding Jamie Brazier. Did they come together?
Right Overtaker's now second.
Fury's had a moment, hasn't he? No. Yeah. He was the one I was thinking that could possibly hold him back. So, Peaceful, it's all down to you. All down to you, Mike, to stop this guy taking another clean sweep.
Not literally Peaceful, but just racing. Big boy's in.
Big boy's in after his spin. Matt's in.
Overtaker's less than a second behind. What
yes,
the hell?
He is. He's going to destroy this one as well, isn't he? You know, Peaceful with under pressure now as Overtaker just drives around the inside of him. Oh well, and that took 6 laps. Who's going to stop this guy? Somebody's got to stop this guy, haven't they?
The only person I've seen stay ahead of more than just to be a lap as J.M. Grill at the start.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. For whatever reason.
You couldn't catch.
Yeah.
Dan up in the fifth.
Dan up into fifth. We'll see. I reckon Dan's going for a slow and steady kind of run here to try and just gain as many points as possible. And that's probably his thinking here. He's gone a bit later on his pit stops. So who hasn't pitted? We know Overtaker hasn't pitted. Fury, Dan, Peaceful and Gary still, and JM Grill all still yet to pit.
I think Gary's possibly going to catch Peaceful as well.
Yep. Yep. Peaceful was mugged by Overtaker. He's now got Gary breathing down his neck as well. When do these guys choose to pit?
He's a good 10 seconds out of the pack now. Enough
yeah.
Spin. He's got Dan closely behind him as well.
Yeah, they had a titanic battle last week at Oscherslava, and if you didn't see it, you can watch all the races back. Dan going down around the inside of that. That's last corner. That was pretty brave there from those going side by side around that long right-hander. Dan's got the inside line. He's got this job done. Do you think Fury's carrying some damage at all? Doesn't look like it visually.
No, I think that was clever driving from Dan in the Audi, to be fair. I think it's just got a little bit more traction on the corners to what the Mercedes has. I think you pushed the Mercedes a bit too much, and obviously Fury must have had a wiggle earlier. Like that.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, he's a bit too scared in the corners.
Yeah, I think Dan has got that last sector hooked up. He told us in the chat, not in the interviews, but he told us somewhere.
Peaceful must be struggling as well a bit.
Yeah, Peaceful's gone backwards a little bit now. Maybe had a bit of a moment. Yeah, Dan was telling us that he set his car up for the twisty bits because he knows he can't live with the Mercs on the straight. So he'd made adjustments to make it ride the curb. And Plava getting together with Holty. Oh, look, Holty's lost his rear wing. That's going to be a pit stop, that is. For sure.
Oh, very
nice.
People are struggling a bit. And their track limits and that, they're a bit leery.
Yeah, Emplava being a bit leery, and Fury looking a little bit leery tonight as well, or this second race. I wonder again, like what happened to us last night, that the track's changed a little bit from race 1 to race 2. Do you think?
Could possibly. They seem to be struggling out of the corners. It's slippery.
And yeah, absolutely. Sorry, excuse me, I was having a drink. And Disco, I swear to God, Disco, I will not tip you for the race win again. Sorry. Yeah, he's probably saying something, Scottish about me.
Overtaker's now 8-9 seconds ahead.
Yep, and
how he's got that in 8 laps after only getting into first place after the 5th lap, I don't know.
He's certainly dialed, isn't he? He's certainly got it dialed. That's for certain, sure. And he's on his way to. He's on his way to another clean sweep by the looks of it. Okay, in the chat, who have we got? This is like the late night group by the looks of it. Tiziano, is that, am I saying that right, Hayley? Tiziano. Yeah. Hello to you and welcome along. PN, oh, you've been here all night. And who else did I see? Gravelar X Racing. Hello, mate. How you doing? Welcome along. Cherry Bread 05. Got to say, great coverage and commentary. That's because we're the dream team, Smithy.
We're the best looking out of a lot of them.
Oh, absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. It's like Brad Pitt and George Clooney, isn't it? You know?
Yeah.
If you squint 100%. Your eyes a little bit.
Or just shut.
if you can't imagine, if you want to put faces to the names, just think of like Ocean's 11 or something like that, and that'll be us. Look at Enplava. Oh, that was a little bit. Who's that he's fighting with? Little Leech.
Little Leech. Yeah.
Liam Leach gone deep, and then Plava goes very tight on the corner, gets a bit squirrely under acceleration. Little Leach tucks right in to the slipstream. Who have we got here? Peaceful, Matt and the Underfrog are all in close proximity. The Merc power again. The Ferrari is quite can be quite slippery.
It's slow compared to the Merc.
It is, mate. Yeah, it is. The Merc is. Oh, Richie gives another tap. Oh, stewards! Imagine the stewards' office. You're just going to have so many.
Overtake is in. He's in early. He's in at lap 8.
He's in at lap 8.
He's 30 air. He's going to come out in.
Yeah. Oh, quick pit stop as well.
Whoa.
That's not right, is it? I thought he was going to stop for his strawberries, a cup of tea, polish the car, and still be in front.
Well, he's going to come out in front now.
Everyone's served their pit stops now. Again, if you're new to the channel and you haven't saying it right. Oh, yes. How did I say it? Tisano. Did I say that? Yeah, excellent.
Tisarano, love one.
Tisarano. Yeah, I probably said it right the first time. Now I've probably messed it up. Sorry about that. So I was saying everyone's served their pit stops. So if you are new to the viewing, everyone has to do a mandatory pit stop. They don't have to make any changes in the pit stop. They just have to serve the pit stop.
He must have had a bit of damage. He's coming out in 10th.
Oh yeah, he must have had something wrong. We thought he might have had something.
Solid points for Little Leach if he can hold on to 4th ahead of Matt.
Yes, absolutely. It'd be solid points. And him and Dan were leading the constructors before, and it should have updated. Let me have a look at my world-class spreadsheet system that I have absolutely no idea how to navigate. And see if I
must be up there after this win.
Yeah, you'd like to think so, wouldn't you? After race 3, yeah, over McDisco Face Racing, which is Overtaker and Disco, were on 81 points and now leading the championship from the Love Island bombshells of Dan and Little Leach. With 80 points, so they're only a point ahead. Gary and Matt in 3rd place in the constructors as we speak. So that would be Overtaker taking maximum points. Gary will be taking good points as we speak. For as Dan has a look down, Jamie Brazier down the inside. These two have had history in the past, but it seems to be all clean at the moment. But these two have, as I said, they've rubbed doors a couple of times. These two. In the past, so hopefully it's all clean for now. So Gary with 2nd place at the moment, and Plava's in 3rd, Little Leach in 4th, and Matt 5th. This is on merit. Nobody, with pit stops are all done, so this is where we are, Smith.
Yep, this is how we're standing so far. The only people close on track, the big boy and Dan at the moment. Oh, Matt and Rich.
Yeah, Richie's falling back from Matt a little bit because they had a bit of a tap in earlier on. So Matt with the ultimate pace after over Richie, but Richie in another strong mid-pack position in 6th place. I'd be reasonably happy with that.
Yeah, I'd take a 6th.
I would in pro.
Yeah, 6th. Yeah, I would in pro am.
Yeah, I might not be so keen, but yeah. The best I ever achieved in pro was a 4th. I think I did that. No, I had a podium, didn't I? 3rd. Last race, my last pro race, I had a 3rd place. But
yeah.
You know, I've said it many times, Smithy. I've said it many times. The sun shines on a dog's arse some days. You know, and that was my shiny, sunny day.
Okay, I'll have one of them this season.
Yes, of course you will. Next rain shower, you'll be there. The Rainmeister. So where are we? We are 10 laps in, 15 lap race this one. I didn't realise we were a 15 lap race. I hope they fueled for 15 laps, Smithy. That's an interesting point.
Taylor's probably the only person that hasn't. Knowing him, he's such fine-tuned.
Yeah, maybe. Might be worth having a look.
Round half a track and not have to worry anyway, be that far ahead.
Yeah, he could run out of fuel. Of course it was 15 laps because a lap was added for the formation lap, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, so that's why we have 15 laps on the board instead of 14. The first one was a formation lap. Oh, hello, we've got Beth in the chat. We haven't seen you for ages. Beth used to be my fan. She used to always cheer on KLF on a pro-am night, didn't she? But yeah,
goes to bingo now instead, I assume.
Yeah, it goes bingo or something like that, isn't it? You know. But nice to see you in the chat.
Where are you going?
Where is he going? What was that all about? That was a gift for Matt.
Yeah.
Little Leach runs wide. That puts Matt into 4th place. He's now going to be chasing after his old sparring partner, Smithy, of Plava.
Yeah, he's up there. The wild card's up there in 3rd at the moment.
He certainly is. Oh, look at this lot. Dan down the inside on Jamie's come back at Dan a little bit, hasn't he? And Dan goes up the inside of Peaceful Explosion, and he's going to get it done. Peaceful has a little wiggle under acceleration. Jamie's tucked back in behind Peaceful and is probably going to wait till he gets out of the other side of the S's if he's not crazy. But then he might be. Oh, Peaceful had a bit of a wiggle there. Has he gone offline? No, he's managed to Yeah, and Dan getting best off out of those, but I think you'll find that Jamie's going to Peaceful with the back end hanging out. It's like Tokyo Drift out there for Peaceful, isn't it?
Yeah, him and Fury, I think, are having a bit of a slippy slidey one. Oh, he's flashing.
Yeah.
Love a flash. I do like a flash.
You do love a flash. Steady. Yeah, I think I've got a bit of a telling off going for excessive flashing last night.
What's happened to Gary? He's down in 6th.
What has happened to Gary? I don't know. And look at this lot behind him, look. This lot are chasing and catching him. Little Leach with with the Underfrog all over the back of him.
Oh, we've got another freeway going on at the back here.
Steady.
Big Boy and Fury. Don't know who to keep on with.
Big Boy's done. Peaceful. Fury's now with his repaired car will be coming up behind Peaceful really, really quickly. So the pole sitter is tumbling down through the order, and I was going to make some sort of reference to what Matt normally says, but we're as far as I'm concerned, we're banned from using the C word on a Thursday night. No C bombs are being dropped here on a Thursday night. Of course, I'm talking about, you know.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're on about.
The seasonal, the festive season is what I'm talking about. I'm not saying it. We are not using the C word.
The two C's.
2 C's.
Yeah, we won't mention them. I don't want Welshie getting upset.
Yeah, absolutely. And are you with me on this one? We don't need to be talking about that, do we?
No.
December.
To talk about it.
Yeah, December is the time to talk about that.
My birthday, December. That's.
Oh, excellent. We'll have a party. We'll have a race win for your birthday. How about that?
Well, I could think of worse things.
worse ways of spending your birthday, that's for certain sure. We've digressed slightly, so guess what? Overtaker's nearly 20 seconds ahead now, and Plava in the 2nd place with Matt hunting him down, although he's not cruising up to the back of him at any great rate. We've got the Underfrog. Richie is about to put some moves on Little Leach, current Pro-Am champion, but long-time pro driver, so he knows his way round.
He just don't look like he's got any pace in that Audi.
No.
Mercedes.
I don't know whose bright idea it was to pick these Audis. I don't think they're all that.
No, I'm sure I'm not the best driver. I didn't like it at all.
No, I wouldn't have bothered, but all of a sudden people think it's like the buzz car. 2 seasons ago it was the McLaren, right? Then it was the Lamborghini. And now the buzz car seems to be the Audi,
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I haven't even driven it. I don't know what it's like. So you don't know. Old sparring partners, these two. They had a couple of championship battles that were absolutely titanic. You want to go back a couple of seasons? I think it was season 3, Silverstone. These two, both in Porsches, having a titanic battle Oh, Gary, just a little bit quick on the power there, and slides it round the last corner. Dan is hunting him down. As I said, these two have got previous. Some of the best racing I've ever seen on Simplay was Silverstone. I believe it's season 3, and and Gary again, just under power.
Yeah, I think that's that Merc. Get a bit twitchy.
Doesn't it?
Fury, Fury, Gary.
I don't think it's the
like you said. Yeah.
It's not the easiest car to drive. I've driven it, but didn't do a lot for me. I personally don't even like the car, you know.
No, but like you said, Dan has made his car so it goes through these S's like it just sticks.
Yeah. And that's where he's going to gain the advantage. Look, the advantage that he's pulled back on Gary. Now let's see if Gary pulls back up. So we've jumped because Matt has caught Emplava really quickly now, hasn't he? I said he wasn't catching him, so maybe there was a mistake from Emplava because he's dropped another 3 seconds back from Overtaker. So maybe Emplava's had a bit of a moment. Matt down the inside. They give each other room. Emplava is one of the most politest drivers.
A lot of respect for each other.
Yeah, absolutely, a lot of respect. They spent a Pro-Am season. I think the whole Pro-Am season, Emplava just pretty much followed Matt all the way around every single race, like, you know. But Emplava is so polite. In fact, to the point, I've said it before, I think he needs to get his elbows out a little bit more. But he's given Matt a good run here. And he stays in front.
We're down to this straight again, when they come up to this straight, Merc will just.
Oh yeah.
Put away.
I thought Emplava was going to open that corner up and give it to Matt, as I said about him being polite, but he's being feisty tonight. Being feisty.
I don't know if Dan's catching a little, is he? Not quite.
Ah, look, Emplava's gone deep.
Yeah,
that's it. Can he come back at him? That's the thing. We'll have to keep an eye on those times and see what's happening. Oh, there's chaos in the back. Go back to Big Boy Brazier.
Oh, Dan. Was it Big Boy?
Dan's in there.
No. Yeah, it weren't Dan. That was somebody went round. Gary, Peaceful.
I don't know. I'm gonna think there was a lot of
back marker, wasn't it?
There was a lot going on in the background. I saw Jamie's blue wheels in there, but I don't think he was the only one involved in that incident. There was more than those people. I'm just trying to watch the stream again. Little Leach goes round. Oh, Dan was in there, Gary was in there, Fury was in there, I think. I tell you what, the steward's office is going to be extremely busy. Extremely busy after this. Emplava having another look at Matt. He hasn't given up on that second place yet. Matt's got the inside line. He's covering it off. Emplava. Yeah, he took a look at switching back at him, but no such luck. Is Richie catching this pair? Because they are dropping to Overtaker like mad. Another 4 seconds lost to Overtaker.
Yeah, he's in a world of his own. He's on the last lap as well.
Yeah, he's about to start the last lap, isn't he? Yep, he starts the last lap now.
How much fuel has this boat got? Let's have a look. Just enough to finish.
Yep, 6 litres. Yep, just enough. You're quite right. He's timed that perfectly.
I put enough in. I put enough in to make sure if I go off at least 3 times, I've still got enough fuel to get myself through. This bloke's just got it to. If this bloke spins and goes,
look at that!
We love a bit of fancy
is
stuff.
Is he toying with us now? Is he?
Yeah, he love it, doesn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. Is he just messing with us or what?
He's the greatest showman. We'll call him the greatest showman.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Well, he's on his last lap. We'll come back to him in a minute.
Yes, we will, because this battle's still going on. This battle's still going on. These still going at it as well. This is for 7th, 8th and 9th. I'm sure this lot got together, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be stewards' inquiries about this. Oh, Fury's round, right on the last one. What a brilliant camera shot. We almost got in the car with him there. So that's gifted the other ones to him. Jamie Brazier's still in there, Dan's still in there, Gary's still in there for the last positions, but overtaken now 26 seconds ahead, Smithy.
Well, we said it from the start. We said he's in the middle of the pack, worst place he could be with all the big boys around him.
Yep.
Rolling start, but he's got through the pack and he's just gone.
Yep. Absolutely gone.
2 weeks on the bounce.
Yep, and if he's got fastest lap as well, that's another Grand Slam. He's flashing his lights. Is he listening to us on the stream? He could be. He's going to come round. Look, he's celebrating already. He was celebrating about 2 laps ago when he started doing all the drifting. Over the line for his 4th win, 4 of 4, all the points. We'll check on his fastest lap, but I reckon he's got another clean sweep.
Disco's disconnected. We lost Disco.
Yeah, he was reporting damage in the chat and talking about something else, which I'm not going to repeat. Look, yeah, Emplava right to the end. This is where Emplava was in his Pro-Am season. He doesn't want to be there again, but he's going to have to settle for it this time. It's a great podium recovery.
Great race for them too.
Absolutely. A great podium recovery for Matt and Emplava. Richie with a strong for the Underfrog. And Little Leach coming in
great
5th.
Points for Little Leach. Yeah, great points for Little Leach.
Gary misses out. Dan is going to miss out to Gary and Big Boy Brazier. That last lap must have been quite interesting. We didn't get to see it. We were watching what was happening. The pole man ends up in 9th place. D Biggs, who was in 2nd, ends up in 10th. Fury finally gets home in 11th. The race he'll want to forget. JM Grill, who was leading by over half a lap, ends up in 11th place as they are still coming towards the line. JM Grill in 12th place, and that'll be Holty, who's going to end up 13th. And again, we haven't seen much of Smokey, and it's a shame because he's got one of the prettiest liveries, I think, and he's going to end up in 14th. And we lost Disco just towards the end there. I believe there was some shenanigans there that we just didn't see on the stream, which is unfortunate. I believe the steward's office is going to be extremely busy tonight, and I can't wait for my phone.
It's harder than it looks to try and keep up on every bit of action in the Pro.
It is, and you know, I've said it before.
Watching the best bits on track, and it's hard to, if you've got 3 groups or a few groups together, you can't be flicking from, because everything changes so quickly with these guys.
Absolutely. We're waiting for the top 3 to come into the chat. I think we've got Matt here already. Yes, you're quite right, and you know, we've said this before. We don't have multiple screens to see like a TV studio. We just have to pick what we can to see what we can. But I do think there was a couple of shenanigans there, and some. So certainly, towards the end of the race, a turn 1 incident that I'm sure we'll hear all about towards throughout the week. But your fastest lap. It's a clean sweep again for the Overtaker. That is 4 of 4 and hasn't dropped a single point yet. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty crazy, isn't it?
Yep. Let's hope. Well, everyone can only pray that he's away 1 week, I guess. Give everyone else a bit of a chance.
Yeah, they've got to pray that he turns up to the different circuit to the rest of them, I think. I believe the tables are updated. Is that correct, Matthew?
That's correct.
Yes, absolutely. So, Overtaker now leads the way with 106 points over his closest rival, which is Dan, who is 43 points behind now, Smithy, in 2nd place. Gary still keeping a strong 3rd place with 51 points, and Matt now moves up to 4th place with 47 points, and Plava with that good strong race now is at 46 points in 5th position, and Fury's in 6th with 44. I will have we got Emplava in?
Yeah.
En, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Brilliant. We will start with you. Great drive there, but staring at the back of Matt's car again. This deja vu, isn't it?
Yeah, back to the good old times, or not so good times, but yeah, really happy to be on the podium this early in the season, and was a fun race for me.
Excellent. And talk us through some of the highlights for you. What was the standout moments in that race for you?
At the back, when I was at the back, there was a lot of contact between me and
Yep.
the other guys. And I think going through this is with Alti, I had contact with him, but I feel like I did nothing wrong. So, but
Yep.
let's see what the stewards think if they review this.
Yeah.
So yeah, and of course, I think the highlight for me was the battle with Matt once again.
Yes, indeed, and you had quite a scrap there at the end, which was good to watch, as you say. Like good times, the good times are back again. But you'd probably like to be in front of him a bit more often. But we move to Spain next week, to Catalonia. What do you think of that track, and how do you think you're going to get on next week?
Well, but I like the layout of the track.
Yeah.
Haven't driven it much with other cars around. So.
Yeah.
So I'm not quite sure how will I get. I have a week to prepare, so
yep.
I guess I'll have to start working tomorrow to get a good result.
Absolutely, and that's the attitude we like. He's going to start working tomorrow. Yeah, I was the same. I started straight away on Catalonia to try and get up to speed. Congratulations for tonight, mate. Great to see you on the podium again.
Oh, no, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, we move on to your second place man. From the back of the grid up to second place, Matt. Welcome back to the podium.
Yeah, great to be back here.
Excellent. And, yeah, your strongest result of the season so far. Tell us a bit about it. Highlights for you?
Very scruffy start at the back of the pack. No, great race, to be fair. You know, I had decent pace, kept it going. Saw Emplava decided to go a bit quicker. The highlight of the race for me was just the battle with Emplava. It's always a pleasure to race him since our Pro-Am days.
Absolutely. There was quite a lot going on towards the back of the grid, and some confusion for JM Grill to start with. And you know, talk us through what was going on there at the back. Was it just a case of a lot of quick drivers trying to be on the same bit of tarmac?
I think a lot of quick drivers trying to be on the same bit of tarmac. I was sort of like messaging JM Grill on the PlayStation through my phone, so sort of driving one-handed, trying to heat the tyres, heat the brakes.
Yeah.
And then I look up and Overtaker's just kind of let the pack go a little bit, and I'm like, oh, brake, because I nearly went into the back of him, and then I had the car behind nearly at the back of me, and it was like, whoa, what's going off here? And it was just a bit messy. And then at the start, I think, you know, when the race got underway, it was just kind of like everybody wanted the same piece of tarmac, you know, and
yeah.
I made a dive bomb into turn one at the start because I felt like I had a good run over Fury and Overtaker at the start. And then Richie started dive bombing as well, and there were a few dive bombs from other drivers from behind, you know, nudges on the rear and stuff, and it was just a bit scruffy.
Yeah, we saw you get nudged quite a few times throughout the evening by, you know, nothing severe enough to take your rear wing off, but a couple of little nudges and whatever. And I just wonder. I wonder what's going on a little bit. As you say, a little bit scruffy. Pro-Am second race was a bit like that, where it was more than a bit scruffy. But and the pros have been the same. So, but anyway,
it just felt a bit icy, a bit slippery in the second race. I don't know if that's what caught people out. And like you say,
maybe
it wasn't Dan that hit me from the rear, so my rear wing stayed on this week.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. No tantrums between you and Dan this week. That's brilliant.
No,
fantastic.
all good.
Yeah, good week. We move on to Catalonia next week. What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah. Don't like Catalonia, but I had the pleasure of commentating it the other month at Racing Unleashed. I noticed Tiziano Caponio was in the chat tonight, so you know, picked up a few tips from watching him from Racing Unleashed last month.
Yeah.
Hopefully I can bring them forward and put them on the track next week and put on a good show. Again, you know, look, someone's got to stop the Overtaker, and
they have.
Hats off to him. You know, he's doing the job. He's getting out front while everybody else are being caught up in mistakes, you know. He's doing a cracking job this year, and he's up the level. It's a bit like watching Lewis Hamilton in real life, Kelly. You know, lost his championship to Rosberg, come back the next season on a different level to everybody else, and that seems to be where Overtake's at the minute. But happy with tonight's work, you know, a second and a fourth. You can't be disappointed, especially after last week.
Absolutely. Well, good luck for next week and well done.
Cheers,
Just before we move on to Overtaker, guys who left in the chat, give us your driver of the day. Smithy, have a think about your driver of the day as well. we move on to Yam again, Overtaker. How are you? It's been a long time no see. It must have been, been ages. Mate, were you just toying with us at the end? We watched you through the S's, drifting one way and then drifting the other. Was that actually a mistake, or were you just having fun?
No, I was pushing for fastest laps at the end. And
right.
Just flipped the curb the wrong way, and then I backed off a lot because my tires overheated a lot. But that was at the end.
Yeah, well, it was nice to watch. We thought you might have been toying with us, and just showing how easy it was. And mate, another race win, 4 in a row, top points. You haven't dropped a single point. You've got to be happy with that. Again, highlights of the race for you?
Yeah, sure. I'm very happy with the result again. I think I had a really good weekend for myself. Not many mistakes. I think 1 or 2 tiny mistakes, but not a lot of time lost. In the beginning, I didn't have a clue what the grid order was because I thought I was behind Fury and I was P11 and I thought I was P10. But whatever, I just stayed behind and tried to go with the flow. And then I was watching the stream, driving, listening to you what is the grid order, and it was quite confusing. But I managed to get a few nice overtakes, and then it was smooth sailing once again after the pit stop.
Absolutely, great stuff. We move to Catalonia next week. Are you going to be dominant there? I'm sure I've asked you already, but are you going to be?
Yeah, you have. I think it's a morning race, right?
So,
I don't know what's up with that, but I quite like the track, so we'll see.
Okay, good. We will see. You're quite right. Congratulations for tonight. Well done. I think you may have made Simplay history with that one. I don't think anyone else has done that so far. And we'll see. You've got a massive target on your back, but we'll see what happens next week. Thank you, guys. Congratulations to everyone. Smithy, your driver of the day.
As much as I'd like to give it to that bloke, I think just to be fair, Richie Rich, I thought from last week had a good evening. So I'll probably say Richie Rich.
Absolutely, and I think that's a fair shout. He definitely is starting to show his pace and his
Matt had a good night.
Yeah.
And Clive had another good night.
Yes, indeed. But you're going to go for Rich as your driver of the day. In the chat, we've got 2 for Overtaker and 1 for Matt for driver of the day. I'm going to agree with Matt. A second and a fourth from where he started both times. I'm going to go with Matt for my driver of the day. Right, let's finish things off. We move to Catalonia next week. Pro-Am on Wednesday night. Come and watch me and Smithy rip up the field at Catalonia. What do you reckon, Smithy? You're up for that?
I'm up for that.
We're on air at 8 o'clock live for Pro-Am. As I said, join Matt and Dan on the comms to watch me take my first race win of the season. That's just jinxed that completely. If you've got nothing better to do, pop over to Audio Sport on YouTube, like and subscribe, please. I need the subscribers, I need the likes. Facebook page and website, please do look at all of those. And I think I've done everything. Thank you to all the Simplay team. Have I missed anything? Don't think so.
No. From here in France, au revoir.
We're in America, but we're getting closer when we go to Spain next week. So we'll have to have some French, especially for the Speedy Frogs. That's for certain, sure. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to all the Simplay. Thank you to everyone. Join us again soon. Thank you. Love you. Good night. Bye bye.
Ciao.